All right, we got Magic Jack. Thank you for coming in. 200 Google reviews. You've worked with American Express, Lionsgate, all kinds of big companies, man. Thank you very much for coming in.
Dude, I can't thank you enough for having me. Thank you very much. I'm super excited for this.
Me too. This is interesting. This is definitely different.
Yeah?
So, what happened when you were 7? They got you into magic.
Do we have enough time? Holy cow. So literally got into magic when I was 7 years old. Grew up playing sports, football, baseball, normal kid stuff, rapping, video games. I got a magic set and learned a couple tricks out of it, like on my own. I wasn't taught. I kind of, read the instructions, was a horrible student. And so for me to read something and learn it out of this magic set, fool the adults, and they were genuinely fooled, like, they weren't like, oh, that's great, you fooled me. They were like blown away, encouraged me to learn more magic. And I kind of grew up in a magic shop. So my folks had a costume shop for 30 years selling all types of costumes, masks, makeup, year round. And they did costume rentals. This is in the 80s, like way before Party City and Spirit Halloween and all these other pop-up Halloween shops. So they sold costumes, and then someone said, hey, if you sell jokes and gags and magic tricks, that'll boost your sales and help sales as well. And so they had like a little counter in the costume shop. It was a brick and mortar business, and a few magic tricks. And I ended up becoming the demo guy, like learning tricks. And at a young age, I was selling tricks behind the counter, not at 7 years old, as I became double digits, like 10, 11, 12. And then they had this guy named Sam Kubrick. He was from Philly, and he was the magic department manager. And so he was a character himself. He was a guy, he smoked cigarettes, like chain smoked back to back, and would do a trick with a cigarette just to light it and smoke it. And you weren't supposed to smoke in the store. And he would, I'm demoing the magic. I'm just selling the magic. And so there was this trick where you have someone pick a card, and he lights a cigarette and takes the ashes and rubs it on his arm, and then the card reveals on the arm. And he would do that, and he would cough like crazy. His pants would fall down. He was a character, man. And so that was my introduction to magic. Sam Kubrick.
What is a magic shop? Like when I hear magic shop, I have no, do you know what a magic shop is? Like I have no idea what a magic shop is.
Yeah, when you think of a magic shop, you think of like metaphysical crystals and
no
dragon's blood and stuff like that. A magic shop is sometimes it's like a tourist shop, like in a tourist area where they would have tricks that they would sell, like parents on vacation or for kids, like quick impulse buys, like impulse sales. But there's magic shops that are supply shops for magicians, for professional magicians that carry everything from like consumables that you would use in every show, from new tricks, card tricks, stage tricks, illusions, coin tricks, jokes, fake poop.
So like
you get fake
so
poop.
A magic shop would have this that just blinded me for about 5 seconds, right?
Dude, that is the trizonal space warper created by a guy named Jerry Andrus, this guy is a certified genius, man, with hands the size of your face, man. And this guy,
oh, he's got Michael Jordan hands.
yeah. Oh yeah. He's created, he's like the 20th century MC Escher. Like he's created optical illusions up the wazoo and magic. He passed away, but he was doing magic up until his 90s, man. And he was like legit. He would fry you at like 90 something years old. And he created this. And I forget the origin of it, but he created the trizonal space warper. That's what it's called. And all the tricks have crazy names like that.
And that's something I would find at the magic shop, right?
This you would find, unfortunately, there's very few magic shops now.
I mean, like similar, like back then, a magic shop would have things
for sure.
for magicians,
yeah,
right?
For sure. For $8, you could have a trizonal space warper.
And then by the time you're 11, where are you at with the magic?
So
This
yeah,
is
so
this is young ages. Shit.
yeah. Well, so I got into magic, and so my dad and my mom, they had the brick and mortar costume shop, and then it was very successful. They broke through to another side, so they had like a smaller store. Then they broke through. They opened it up a little bit more, and then after a few years, they broke through again. And I'll go back. My dad used to have a Hallmark store. It was called Annie's Hallmark. And they sold cards, novelties, and stuff like that. But during Halloween, my dad he made like a deal with the pet store that was close by, and would get like spiders, snakes, creepy
Freaky
critters,
stuff.
and he would put that in the store like in terrariums, but also he would deck it out like spooky style for Halloween, and they made more money during the Halloween season than they made all year. And then, so my parents were like, that's it. We're packing up. We're closing the Hallmark store. They opened Annie's Costumes, and then which turned into Annie's Costumes and Magic. And they were in the Fountain Shopping Center in Plantation, Florida for 30 years. That's a long time, dude, for like 30 years. So, really like 27. I'm kind of exaggerating.
Still,
but yeah.
I mean, even 10 years, that's hard to.
It was
You gotta have
incredible.
balls to walk away.
I
change anything, you know.
Now times are different,
Yeah.
but back then, it was so busy. He'd have to hire a security guard to stand at the door. There was a line around the building. It was like the hottest ticket for Halloween stuff. Like if you wanted to get some dope shit, if you wanted to get some dope stuff, you would go to Annie's Costumes and Magic and load up. And so by the time I was 11, I was really getting into magic and like sleight of hand and reading. Like it was weird because in school I was a horrible student. Couldn't focus. I was out of control. And I could read a magic book and read and learn right out of the book. And it's difficult for a lot of people. They're like, magicians have a saying, you want to keep a secret, you put it in a book. And there's so many great magic tricks in a book. And they make magic that sells, but it's usually for beginners and stuff like that. Someone just starting out. So I gravitated towards the books. I have a huge library. I have thousands of books. My wife won't even let me put books up anymore. and yeah, so I got into magic and really started gravitating towards card magic. And now I say magic's my job. Card magic is kind of my hobby because I'm a really big fan of card magic. I collect decks of cards. I probably have over 1,000 decks of cards, and the wife again said no more decks of cards. That's it. So 11 years old, really into magic, selling magic behind the counter. It's kind of like my job. And then by the time I was 12, though, my life started going a different route.
Real quick, did you ever find out how the guy did the thing on his arm?
Oh, for sure.
Is he still alive right now?
No, Sam Kubrick, he smoked too many cigarettes.
Yeah. How'd he do it? How'd he do it? Or you're not allowed to tell us.
If I tell you, I have to kill you.
All right.
No,
I am.
So it's a classic trick. People still do this trick till this day. David Blaine did it on his special, his TV special. And I never liked that trick because you gotta like literally like wipe ashes on your body, and I just never got into it. Funny story. Let's fast forward real quick, and we'll come back.
Sure.
But I have a friend who passed away. His name's Danny.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, we miss him, man. He passed away a couple years ago, and he used to always try to challenge me. He was that one friend who just wanted, he didn't like when I had the spotlight sort of, and always wanted to, like I used to collect action figures. He would collect more, and he would be like, find the one I couldn't find.
He'd have
and
to top it.
Yeah. We were like that when we were working out. He would try to, yeah, that's my bro, man. I love him. But he started doing magic. Because people, around friends, they'd be like, do a trick. And so I would do magic, and he would be like, and we used to rap too. I used to rap, and he started rapping too. And we always had a competition. Danny Toronto, we call him Titty Boy. And so So Danny started doing magic tricks.
What, he had big tits for a guy?
He had gyno,
Gyno?
yeah, gyno,
okay.
whatever.
Little
But
bit too much
he used
juice,
to walk,
maybe?
yeah. No, he used to just have it, but he used to walk around all puffy, like, he's my boy, man. I love him. I miss him.
I'm just kidding, Danny.
Yeah.
I know there's no milk coming out.
Oh
right?
yeah, he'd be the first to show you how tough he is. Yeah.
I'm just joking.
So he gathered all the friends around. Didn't even tell me he was going to start doing the trick, and tried to do that trick with the ashes on the arm. Totally fucked it up. Totally blew it. It was so funny. And it was one of those moments we always remember, like Danny trying to do that trick. And he's the greatest for that. So yeah, that was the trick, the ashes trick. Not a fan of it. Not really a fan of that effect.
Now, as a magician, when you say in high school or around high school, you found your voice, what does that mean?
I guess, in high school, I realized I had a talent for magic and a talent for entertaining. And I think around high school was the time I really, I was DJing too. I started DJing. I was really into music. I'm talking about records with crates and turntables and going to parties and rocking it out. And I was getting paid for that. Like 14 years old, my mom would drop me off at the Irish pub, and I would be playing like Fine Young Cannibals and like She Drives Me Crazy. You know that song? Yeah, I'm not going to sing. Yeah.
Can you do a beatbox, like Voice the Man?
Oh, no, I'm not going to embarrass myself.
I thought
maybe later we'll circle back to that.
All
Yeah. But so I, would get dropped off, and I was in this bar environment. I'm like 14 years old. I'm not even old enough to drink, or smoke, or whatever, but I'm there. And I was DJing, and then started getting the courage to perform in front of people, started doing magic, and realizing I could get paid the same for what I was doing when I was DJing, like for 3-4 hours, getting paid the same for just working for an hour. And then I don't have to carry all this crap like turntables and crates and bring a partner to help me out. And I just stopped DJing parties and started focusing on the magic and started performing full time. And then at a super young age, started working in restaurants, doing magic and private parties. And the whole time I was still working at the magic shop, kind of learning magic. And we used to have workshops for magicians and lectures. Magicians would come in from all around the country, all around the world. They would come in and do like a talk, like a lecture, and then sell their books, lecture notes. And we were doing that there too at the magic shop, the magic and costume shop at that time.
Now, when you go from there and you open up the Wizard Apprentice?
Yeah, that wasn't until that's many stories later.
Just on that, I'm just curious, when you got to that point, what gave you the confidence that, because it was like basically, correct me if I'm wrong, like a consulting firm in a sense, where magicians would come and you would say, look, this trick would probably work best for you. This would work best for you, so on and so forth. Is that right?
Yeah. So,
and then just to follow up to that, what gave you the confidence that you could do that and people would come?
To do, well, it wasn't like I had a show at that time where people would come and pay, like a ticket to see me, pay for a ticket. This was more like getting booked for parties, events, bar bat mitzvahs, kids parties,
I bet you love the
parties.
bar mitzvahs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I pay. Huh?
Oy vey. Yeah, no, yeah. Bar and bat mitzvahs, they pay good money. They do pay good money. Magic in general pays great money if you're good at it. It's definitely, I can't believe I'm a working magician. They used to have a saying back in the days, what's the difference between a large pizza and a professional magician? A large pizza could feed a family of 4. Yeah, magicians were not, it wasn't known to be a lucrative business back in the days. And then I think in the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, there was a big boom, especially with magic becoming popular on TV, like with David Blaine. Yeah. And let's go back to Doug Henning, even Doug Henning, like in the 70s, and Mark Wilson. then David Blaine, and then what's that guy, the rocker guy, Chris Angel. I know
Chris
his name.
Angel.
Yeah, Chris Angel.
Didn't Blaine almost kill himself recently? Or he really messed himself up a little bit. I think in that ice thing, right?
Yeah, but that, believe it or not, that was 20 years ago, maybe. Yeah,
Still hear
it was a
about it
while
now.
ago. His last thing is it was called Ascension, where he had balloons, and he literally had like these weather balloons and flew up to, I forget how far he went up, but he literally went up on the balloons, floating up, and it's on YouTube. It's crazy. And then he wanted to go like the highest, I forget how high, like 80,000. I'm making it up, but he wanted to go like super high. And they started popping the balloons because they thought he was getting
a little cuckoo up that
was
high?
it atrophy? I don't know if it's atrophy or
Like the altitude too high.
altitude sickness. Yeah.
Now, as a magician, like how dangerous is the things he does?
Super dangerous.
I mean, obviously he must practice that a gazillion times.
Well, you could get a paper cut doing a card trick.
Like a real nice paper cut. Well, what's the worst cut?
Yeah, no, but stuff David Blaine does is like, being in the ice, frozen in time. That was the thing, frozen. Like that is, I think he had to come out because he almost died. And even the bullet catch. Did you
ever see that one?
Yeah.
So
is that real?
Yes. Yeah.
He caught a bullet?
He literally caught a bullet. And Penn and Teller do that too. They do a double.
How do you catch a bullet?
There's a trick. There's a trick to it, but it's dangerous. But he's kind of getting away from doing more of the dangerous stuff. Like
maybe is it about time?
I think, yeah, right. I think so. Yeah, he the last thing he did was where he swallowed frogs and would regurgitate these frogs. Like he would have them. Like I'd show up, like me, I'm here and I all of a sudden I start throwing up some frogs, live frogs, in a freaking wine glass, hopping around. Like it's crazy. Like that stuff makes my job difficult, man, because I show up at events and they're like, "Oh, do you do the frog thing? Do you let me shoot you?" You know, it's like dude, just pick a card, man. Like, holy cow.
Who was your idol? Like, so going back, like high school, who were you looking up to magic wise? Who would you watch? Who did you want to be? Like athletes, Jordan, Kobe, whoever, I mean Smith, Troy Aikman, whatever. Man. Who was your favorite?
So growing up, I had a mentor. So let's go back to the magic shop. Sam Kubrick passed away. Rest in peace, Sam. We miss you. So he was from Philly. He's from he had a magic shop in King of Prussia.
I used to live in King of Prussia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he had a magic shop in King of Prussia. And believe it or not, David Copperfield used to come into his shop. And
all about David Copperfield.
Yeah, well, growing up, David Copperfield was legendary. For me, he was like, we used to watch the specials. And nowadays, these kids, they don't know about the specials. Like the specials, you had to be in front of the TV. You had to, look at the TV guide and mark it and highlight it. Yeah, it'd be like, I got to be home at 8 o'clock. It's going to be on. And if you missed it, you missed it. That was it. And like making the Statue of Liberty disappear, the Great Wall of China. But he would also do some close-up magic too. And David Copperfield is still a G. He's still rocking it out. I think he does something like 600 shows a year still till this day. And he's got a show in Vegas and is the nicest guy. Like if you go to the show, you say you're a magician, he'll have you wait afterwards and you get to meet him. He'll take you through a tour through his museum. Cool. Like he's like really cool. Like
never let the fame get to his head.
I think so. Yeah. I think, cool. He's a straight G. Yeah. Him and David Blaine are both, now that David Blaine is getting a little older, I think he's giving back a lot more to the magic community too. And those two guys. So back in the magic shop, there was a guy named Larry Taylor who's still alive. And Larry is one of my biggest mentors. And we kind of had a love-hate relationship because I was a F-up when I was a teenager, like real bad. And so we kind of butt heads a lot. but I learned a lot of stuff from him, stuff that I still do and say in my show. And I'm talking about, this is like, in the 90s, I learned stuff from him. And so it definitely stuck with me. And I spoke to him the other day. He's going to actually come to my show on Saturday. I have a public show on Saturday. It's going to be at the Cinema Paradiso in downtown Hollywood at 10 p.m.
Very cool.
Yeah, you guys got to come if you're going to be in town.
Yeah,
you
we'll
got to
have that
come.
in the description and everything.
It'd be awesome. It'll be great. I do a show there sponsored by the city of Hollywood. And I do a show there on the third Saturday of every month. And that's this Saturday coming up, the 15th.
Pull up tab 2, because all his dates are up there.
Sweet.
But then, so then what led up to The Wizard Apprentice?
Okay, so for that story, if you got time, that's me at the Super Bowl, turning tricks. And that's me at a wedding. And so most magicians, real quick before I get into that story, most magicians, and when you do magic, the magicians who preach and who teach, they say, find a target audience and know your audience. And if you're going to do magic for kids, that's it. You do magic for kids. If you're going to do magic, if you specialize in weddings, because if you want a photographer and you're at your wedding, what are you going to call? You're going to call a wedding photographer. You're going to call not just any photographer, you're going to call a wedding photographer. Magicians are saying, if you are going to be the close-up guy and you do restaurant magic, you're that guy. I don't want to be pigeonholed into that.
To one category.
I don't like that. And for real, to do this for a living, I kind of got to do it all. At this point in my career, I have to do it all. I have to do, birthday parties, bat mitzvah. I do a lot of adult shows too, which is, for some people, it's shocking. They're like, adults hire magicians? Of course they do. Yeah, there's adult parties too. I do a lot of them. And you name it, I've performed in every situation imaginable. Every situation imaginable. And so I don't want to be stuck in a, just doing the kids show. I don't want to do that. And I think I do it very well. I think entertaining adults or kids or families or seniors or, rowdy bar goers. So there's different material for each audience. The material I perform for early childhood, say like 5, 6 years old, is totally different than what I would do for 8, 9, 10 years old. Once you're in double digits, the magic has to be a little bit more sophisticated. And then for teenagers too, I do a lot of sweet 16s, graduations. So I try to tailor my performance for who I'm performing for. And corporate magic, when I'm at a trade show or I'm working, like just the other day, I had an award show for this company, Alta Pest Control, and they were from out of town. They came into South Beach and they had an award show and they hired me to do some magic for them. The demographic was, I'd say 25 to 35, all guys. And you got to have magic for them too. Magic that's appealing for them.
So what kind of tricks would you do for single digits? What kind of tricks, the basis?
So
what would you do for like teenagers and then a Bisma and then a corporate? Like, what would you do for each? Just an example. I would assume like kids, you would probably do cards, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, not really for young kids.
Wow.
Like cards, because kids don't play cards that much. And you say, remember a card, and they're like 6 of shovels. They don't know it's a freaking spade, like clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
So like if I was going to perform early childhood, like silly, zany stuff, like don't laugh at me. Oh, I bumped to my head. I'm falling over, silly stuff for that age group. Once you get to like 7, 8, 9, you got to have magic that is not too baby, not too sophisticated, but also also, there's something called sucker tricks. So sucker tricks are perfect for that age range where they think they know the trick and they're like, it's in your hand, it's in your hand. And then you're like, oh, you think it's the white shoelace? And they're like, yeah, it's in your hand. And then you show it, it's a red shoelace, or they think you're holding something, and then you turn it around, it says wrong. I love those tricks. And the parents watching me do those love them too, because the kids, they constantly yell out like they know what the trick is, and that frazzles magicians sometimes. It'll throw you off your game because you don't rehearse for that. You are doing a theatrical performance, and all of a sudden you have little Johnny like saying, it's in your hand, it's in your hand.
And like, shut up, kid.
Yeah. When I was a teenager, it would stress me out, man, and I would try not to explode. But now, like, I get comments from parents saying, oh my God, you have patience. Where do you get these patience from? The way you handled that was amazing. And when you're doing magic at a birthday party, it's not like when you come to see my show in a theater where, it's quiet. It's all about me, and it's all about my show. When I'm at, Fred's birthday party, 8th birthday party, there's so much going on, and nowadays these parties, they have all different activities going on, bounce houses, all types of stuff where they're like overstimulated. And so there's going to be interruptions, distractions, and stuff like that. And you have to go with the flow.
You have to
There's going to be people coming late to the party,
Right.
right in the middle of my trick. And your card was, and there's like, oh, they just came, and now we have to stop for a second. And it really depends on how you handle those situations. And it's not about me. It's about making a memorable experience for the birthday kid and all the guests there. But, it's different for teenagers, adults. They're more focused, and the show is different.
So on like a private show for, say, a 21-year-old kid's birthday.
So, yeah. So
Now, what kind of trick would you bring?
So
that?
Teenagers, once I get to teenagers, I start doing more of the adult material that's more sophisticated, more, I'd say, mentalism, sleight of hand, things that, kids would get bored with, but is really awesome for teenagers. And really, then when we get to adults, I'm doing, more of the sophisticated. I don't want to say sophisticated, like on a higher level. I'm just saying more of advanced material. Yeah. But still, it's always silly and fun. I like to add humor to everything I do.
What do you do at a bitsma? That's got to be different than all the others.
Yeah, usually at bar and bat mitzvahs, I strolling magic. Like, besides doing like something on stage or in front of an audience in a living room or in a theater, I do close-up strolling magic where I would.
What's that mean?
That means that we're having a party, and I walk up and I introduce myself. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? My name's Jack, Magic Jack. I'm the resident magician. Tommy has asked me to entertain you tonight. Here, pick a card, or just jump into it and just kind of break the ice. I have no problem talking to strangers, obviously, and walking up to strangers and introducing myself. And, I 99% of the time I get a warm welcome. Some people are like, no, we're not really into magic. All right, well, great. Have a fantastic evening. Thanks for coming out. And that's it.
So in a bar mitzvah, you'll go up to a single person.
No, groups.
Perform that.
Groups. Small groups, and spend, like if I'm there for a cocktail hour, I'll spend 5-7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, depending on the group. And just kind of, keep it moving and do like magic in the palm of their hands without a table, without equipment. I'm usually just working out of my jacket or pockets, and doing everything from magic with cell phones to pocket knives to cards, coins, money, paper money, and without like, a big illusion, like, let me saw you in half here.
Right. Like, not like something you would do on stage.
Yeah. Something practical that you could have in your pocket, or if I have a briefcase, just chilling.
Now, how do you get the corporate people? Because I would imagine that would be tough,
that'd be
right?
tough one.
So
Yeah. How do you get there? How do you get them to walk away and go, "Hey, this guy's pretty damn good"?
So just make a good impression. Be a likable guy. Make a good impression. It depends on what the event is. Like this thing that I was just at on Saturday night was in South Beach at a hotel. These guys are on an award vacation, not a vacation, but sort of like a conference, a business conference. And so at their award dinner, they brought me in, and I just went up to the tables, introduced myself, and started doing magic. And usually I would do, I kind of feel them out. You know, I feel out the table, and I may do something really quick and then bounce, or I may stay a little while and do some magic. And really depends on the group.
I see. So with the corporate, you kind of have to read the room, read the body language, read who you're dealing with, and based on that, you'll decide what you're going to do and how long.
Unless I'm doing a show. Like if
Right.
I'm doing a set show, then I would, you know, do my show, my magic that I do in the show, like my adult show. But if I'm at a trade show, it's different because now I'm in the booth, and my job is to gain a crowd, gather a crowd, keep the crowd there, do some magic, and then pass those potential customers over to the sales team. And then what I would do is maybe create a routine that's scripted based on that company, maybe something you know, including a product into my magic. And then we also have, you know, when you go to these trade shows, they have all types of giveaways, like little stress balls or a pen.
And
or-
explain what a trade show is.
So a trade show is like a convention. Like if you were in insurance, you'd have a conference where they'd have, you know, maybe 50 different insurance companies in a convention center, and they're all trying to either get customers or find business some way or another. Or
Right. So it's like an event, like our buddy Chris, I can never say his last name, very good friend of mine, like Podfest.
Yeah.
He'll rent out like Hilton and all the conference, and each room has, you know, speakers and everything else, and then he'll have, you know, like a magician come in, you know, just
sure.
to make it different. And then he'll have a room with a magician, and on the screen, a magician's coming in at 1 o'clock, Magic Jack, you know, 2 o'clock is this speaker from, you know, Shure microphones. At 4 o'clock, these arm bars, I forget the name of them, Ultima or whatever, you know, they're going to talk at 4, like something like that, right?
Yeah, so that too, but also like a trade show would be aisles and booths. So you could have like I'm thinking of the last one that I did was a medical supply. It was
Like a card show, maybe.
yeah, or like if you the old school back in the day, like
Yeah.
baseball cards, like you'd
Yeah.
have different vendors.
Right.
So in this particular, the last trade show I did, it was for medical supplies. So there were different companies with their, you know, selling their supplies or their business. And what I would do is I would work in the booth, gathering a crowd, like creating a spectacle and bringing people over to the booth. So there's a return on investment for them. You know, I pass them over.
How much of a kickback did Big Pharma give you?
Oh,
I know it was Pfizer.
I had to
that gave you
sign.
the
I had to
one.
sign a
A
non-disclosure. Yeah.
I can already take a wild guess. Let's go through your site. Go to the let's go through your site and just
Okay.
tell us where to go so everybody can see everything.
I hope everything's working here.
Yeah.
See, that is at that last shot was at a corporate event. That was at a corporate event. I'm trying to think. I can't even remember the company. I'm so sorry, but I was doing strolling magic there. So for the Super Bowl, I got hired to actually perform at the Super Bowl.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was one of the most difficult jobs that I want to say auditioned for or that I applied. It's not
Okay.
like you apply.
We're
you know.
football fans. You gotta take us through the audition.
Okay.
And then we'll go
All
through
right.
the rest.
Yeah, yeah. No, we got to go back to when I was 12.
Well, now you got me on. You got us on football at the Super Bowl.
Um,
So now we got to talk.
I'm a big
How'd you
football
get
fan
the
too.
gig? How'd you get the gig from A to Z? And just take me through it all.
So I literally got contacted by the company that works with the NFL. And so I got contacted by them. This is maybe, I want to say
I'm sorry to
5
interrupt you. I'm sorry to interrupt. Just for people watching, they just contacted you directly, or you networked to them, or they just
They
contacted?
found me.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you, man.
Shit, congratulations, bro.
Thank you. And to go back on something, so when you're starting out doing magic, you try to work for different entertainment companies and event planners. But what happens is when you're working through these event companies, they are booking the show for you. You show up, they pay you some money, but you don't get paid all the money. They get a cut out of, sometimes it's a mystery. Who knows what they're paying? They'll just pay you, an average fee. And then once I found out that, whoa, like I'm only getting a third of what is really,
Oh, you
what they're
found out
paying.
about the layers.
Oh,
I found out about the layers too about 7 months in.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I want you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's 7 guys before you, and the 7th guy that I'm talking to doesn't even know who you are. They just know your name. The 6th guy, the 5th guy, the 3rd guy doesn't even know who you are. The 2nd guy knows your agent. Finally, that agent gets wind that actually talks to you, and then that person relays to the other 6 back to me. And by the time it gets to me, it goes from, say, $300 to $1,000, because each one along the way are taking a piece.
For sure. And that's
that's
sometimes, and I didn't realize we call it layers, but yeah. So in some situations, there's a party planner calling another party planner, booking a magician through someone else. And then everyone's taking a little like shekels out of it,
Yeah.
which is crazy because like, I don't do that. When I have but say you're a magician and you're my friend, if I'm booked and I can't make an event, I'm like, Tommy, are you available on June 12th? And then you're like, yeah, man, what do you got? And I'm like, well, I'm going to give you Karen's number, and it pays
number.
500,
Direct number.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. And it pays 500, and that's it. And I'm not going to take a cut because I make my money by working and doing magic. Maybe I do it the wrong way, but I don't think you should make money off of friends like that. And I'm only going to refer you if you're my friend. I'm not going to, just let me get a warm body to cover my gig,
Right.
So I never really liked that, man. And so I've been trying to get away. And for those event planners and party planners who are listening, I still work with a few, but they'll pay me what I am asking, and not like, this pays this much. I'm able to dictate how much
standard, right?
Yeah, I'm able to dictate my appearance fee instead of being like, well, what does it pay?
Yeah.
Okay. And I've worked way too hard, and I put too much time and effort into my craft to get chopped down like that,
Yeah.
So, all right, back to the Super Bowl, because I don't know who's listening to this. They're going to be like, man, this guy's all over the place. So on the Super Bowl, I think it was like maybe 5 months before, I get a call, and they told me it was they're looking for entertainment in the Super Bowl. It was in Miami. It was in my backyard, and they said they were looking at a bunch of different magicians, and I found out that they had like 30 different magicians they were looking at. And so I sent her an email back. I sent her all my promotional material, which I always think my promotional material is crap and it's never good enough. And I'm always trying to get new stuff or new video. And I told you before, I'm my worst critic.
But that's why you got to the Super Bowl, pal.
I guess so, man. I still don't believe it. And so now, it wasn't like I was like the halftime show. Like, I was working for about 3,500 VIPs in an area. Like,
oh, is that all at the Super Bowl? Is that all?
That's all. Yeah. But it was in like an area that people, I think they
don't downplay it.
I'm not down. I'm not.
Tell me how you got the job. You're killing it.
All right. So I sent my promotion material in. I spoke to her, and she was like, okay, great. They asked me for some more video. They asked me for some more pictures. They asked me for some more references. And I'm in the back of my head. I'm like, this is like a wash, but I'm going to try my hardest here. And so I sent that stuff in. A month went by, called them. Hey, just wanted to circle back around and check in with you. And
Were you
no, we
debating?
didn't.
Were you debating when to call back?
I was.
I
I
would be
was.
too. I'd be like a week.
It got to the point where I just forgot about it, and I was like, that was a good try. That was Super Bowl's like in 2 weeks. So I guess I didn't get it, and then I got the call saying they want to move forward and book me, and I was like, I put it on mute, and I was like, yeah. I did the happy dance, and I got booked, and it was probably the highest paying job I've ever gotten paid for magic. It was ridiculous. And it was I was on a rocket ship, man, blasting off. I was so hyped up, man. And so the game day, we had to go to a separate location, like a remote location where you check in, you go through security, and I got that dope jersey that says the Super Bowl jersey.
Yep.
They wanted that back, and I was like,
you're crazy.
You don't want this back. Yeah.
Why would they want the jersey?
Yeah, they asked me for it back, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they said I could keep it, right? Yeah. And I think it smells now, like what? I don't know. We're like, I don't know. We have to see if you could keep it. I was like, for real, man? Like, come on, man.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Maybe they just wanted it, I think. So yeah, we went through like security at this remote location, and then they bus you over to the stadium in separate buses with other game day workers. And it turns out I met another magician mentalist there from Canada. So they booked two guys. They booked me here from South Florida, and they booked another guy named Spidey from Canada, which when I saw this guy there, I was like, wow, now I'm rubbing elbows. This guy, he's on YouTube. He's got hundreds of thousands of followers. He's really doing his thing. He does body language. He's a mentalist, and I wouldn't say he's a magician. He's more of a mentalist and sort of like body language specialist. And real cool dude. Got to connect with him. That was like one of the highlights of me being there. And
what was so hard about it though? You said it was the hardest gig you had.
Just like with like this, usually if someone calls me to book a show, even a corporate show, like I submit my reviews. I have like you said before, I have over 200 5-star reviews, which I'm super grateful for. They mean a lot to me, especially when I hear their feedback, because it's very encouraging, and also it helps book shows like tremendously.
Magic. If you don't tell me what you did at the Super Bowl, I'm going to jump over.
Oh, like table. What tricks did I do?
Yeah. Why was it so hard, and what'd you do?
Oh well, no, it was difficult. It was difficult getting the job. Performing wasn't hard. But getting the job,
because they wanted so much stuff.
They just, it was like, I just figured I didn't get it. And I didn't hear back from them, but no, they wanted pictures. They wanted video. Then they wanted more video. Then they wanted more pictures.
See, I thought the job that they wanted you to do was no, insane.
It was cakewalk. Yeah. That's what I do. I did what I did. And that was easy. That's the easy part is there when I'm there doing my shtick. It's easy, but getting the job was difficult just because they vetted me out so much with the background check. And I'm happy to say I could pass a background check nowadays.
Not many people can.
No, because we'll go back to when I was 12.
Yeah.
If you
Super Bowl.
Okay.
So what tricks did you do?
So I created a couple tricks, especially just for the Super Bowl that were like football related. And really just my normal, the same stuff I would do, my strolling magic stuff, magic with.
You're really not going to tell me what you did at the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, I did a card trick where the card ended up in my shoe. I mean, there's like several tricks.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, I will show you some magic here. I'm kind of like a show don't tell with magic, but with like the tricks I would do. I did a lot of card magic. I did some stuff with football, like playing card, like trading cards, because it's a football thing. And
I hope you didn't
they
lose any
gave
rookie
me,
cards.
huh?
I hope you didn't lose any rookie cards.
No, no, I wouldn't bring, I wouldn't bring. No, basically the trick with this was, I had a drawstring bag, and inside the bag was a surprise, and then I had a bunch of like football cards, and so they would pick a random card, and they had a free choice, and then out of all the cards, the what was in the bag was a signed football, and I think the signed football.
Oh,
Who was the
shit.
signed
That's a
football
go.
from? It was I can't remember right now. I'm drawing a blank. It was a Dolphin.
Dan Marino?
No, it wasn't Dan Marino. I wouldn't bring that out, you know? Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm a huge football fan. I wouldn't bring anything signed by Dan Marino. It would be in a glass case.
Rob loves Dan
Um,
Marino. Loves
To
Dan.
tell you the truth, I think it was AJ Dewey.
Yeah.
I think it was AJ Dewey.
Huh.
Do you remember him? 77, AJ Dewey.
Oh.
Yeah, he played for the Dolphins, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
So, yeah, like I said, if I'm doing something for like a medical convention, I'll try to work at medical props into my show. Or football, I'll try to, do something football. Like I've done stuff for the Dolphins before where I did some, football related magic too, just to keep it fresh and current and not the same old, same old.
I'll get off the Super Bowl after this.
Yeah,
How many
for
how
sure.
many times did you change what you were gonna do before you decided what you were gonna do at the Super Bowl?
So with the it wasn't like I was doing a show in front of a large audience,
I know you had 3,500 people, but I mean,
but strolling around, like
yeah,
literally that was me walking up to random people. Hey, welcome to South Florida. My name's Magic Jack. I'm the resident magician. How you guys doing today? Are you excited? Who's gonna win? Oh, they also gave me poker chips that were Kansas City and San Francisco poker chips that I was doing magic with.
I would lock them up, buddy.
I got them.
I'd
I
save
got
them
them.
for the rest of your life when you have a bad day.
I got
or a
'em.
bad year, or when China.
If I know you like
when China
football so
ruins
much, I
us.
would have gave them to you, man. I have a bunch of them, man, because they were like, here, give these away.
Don't give them away. Hold on to them.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna be worth a lot of money.
I'll share them with
That
you.
was the same week, right? The Super Bowl that year. I went down with my kids. They had a whole thing for a Super Bowl. That's the same week Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash.
Oh, that's
Fuck.
horrible news,
Yeah.
man.
My
I'll tell you what.
favorite player ever.
You told me you saw him
I just
the whole season.
Yeah, I just really liked how he never gave up. If he missed a shot, that guy would stay 3 hours after everybody else. Everybody else left. He
It's
took
always the
that
good ones,
same
man.
shot a million times. Whatever he missed it, he didn't miss it the next game. I know that.
That sucks. So back on the Super Bowl, I finished the Super Bowl. It was amazing. I was on such a high. I was like blasting off. I was like, my career is gonna skyrocket. Yeah. And then COVID hit. And, yeah.
Oh.
And then literally, because the Super Bowl is in February, and like right around March, COVID hit,
Yeah.
and everything canceled on the calendar.
Right after the Super, right after
yeah, it
prime
was.
time
It
for you,
was.
right?
I was like in my signature on my email,
sounds
official
like
magician
mine,
for
though.
Super Bowl Live. Like literally I was putting that on my email signature. And because I was psyched about that and really excited that I got the job. And, for them to choose me out of all the other choices, they could have picked anybody
That's
and flew
huge.
them in. Like they did with Spidey, this guy, they brought him in from Canada, man. And so they were like, I don't know if the budget ran out and they were like, we got to get this guy from South Florida. Or they were like, this is a guy we want here. And that's the way I like to think, that they were like, this guy is our guy.
Well, you made it to the Super Bowl. That's fucking really impressive.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Shit. All right, go to the next one, Rob. Or whatever you want them to go here to so people can see everything.
So yeah, that needs to be updated. Some of these companies, because I've worked for a lot more companies since I updated, maybe about a year.
Like American
two ago.
Express, General
Absolute
Electric, Coca-Cola, Absolute Vodka, Lexus. I mean, these are big names. Xfinity, hate them, but have to use them. They have a monopoly. Lionsgate Entertainment. I mean, these are monsters. What'd you do for American Express? They're
So
huge and picky as can be. I dealt with them a
American
long time ago.
Express, and I got good pictures from American Express. They're on my Instagram, and so they brought me in. It was like an employee appreciation, and they have in Sunrise, they have their headquarters, and so they brought me in to entertain everybody there pretty much, and they literally had me like right in their main loggia area, the open area, and they had a DJ. They really rolled out the red carpet, similar to you guys here. And yeah, no, they had my image on the screens everywhere, and it was awesome. It was really good. It was a really good show. There was a few hundred people there, and it was awesome. I got
Huge.
2 great reviews from American Express, and yeah, that's the road I want to be on.
That's massive. Go
Yeah.
back to his homepage, Rob.
Yep.
What's the virtual? Did you start that during COVID?
I did start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody went virtual during COVID.
myvirtualmagic.com.
Yeah. So how did you end up doing all this? You just did it through Zoom?
So yeah, back up to Super Bowl, after everything canceled, after the Super Bowl, after freaking out for like a week on like the sky is falling, what am I going to do? Everyone canceled. Like I had like 30 shows canceled.
Oh,
And like freaking out, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then, there was like people were doing stuff on live, like going live and doing stuff. And hey, send me a Cash App or whatever. And I did that a couple times. And then all the magicians got together because I wasn't the only one. Sorry about
Okay.
that. I wasn't the only one who was in that situation. And then virtual magic was birthed. And so virtual magic, where I didn't know anything about Zoom, and you would log on to Zoom and you would see me do my show. And so the first show I did was horrible. And I just did what I normally do. I did my normal shtick and realized it doesn't play the same on camera than in person, because when you're in person, it's an experience, and that's the way to see magic is in person. You experience it, because everyone says I'll believe that when I see it, and when you see it, it's a different experience than watching it on video. And so for me, it wasn't interactive enough. Even though my show is super interactive, there's a lot of audience participation. I'm not the type of guy who plays music and I do a silent act or something. That's not my style. And I like remember people's names. I shake hands. It's very interactive. And so how can I do that through, virtually? How can I do that? And so a lot of magic was created from scratch, like new magic that was, you would be at your house, grab your deck of cards, shuffle them up, and then you would do stuff on your end and make the magic happen without me even touching the cards, which
smart.
Normally those tricks are really boring. Like if I was to show you some tricks now like that, it'd be a little boring because they're procedural, but through virtual, it was a mind blower. And so then there were all these types of magic, and magicians started writing books about virtual magic. And then back to learning magic, they were putting out all different tricks to different magicians because everyone was doing virtual. And I think at this point, everyone's screened out. They're totally screened out. And I don't know anyone who's really doing virtual magic anymore, but it was really cool. It was a cool medium. And for those companies that are still working remotely, virtual was awesome. So I could do a show in the UK, and I could do another show in LA, and then one in New York, all on the same day. And it was pretty cool. And a lot of companies they were all working remotely. So they would have these happy hours where they would bring me in, and I was doing a lot of corporate work that way. A lot of corporate work and a lot of birthday parties. And it was enough for me to create my own website and get it out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
A lot of people either benefited from it, like you found a way to, or they got killed. And I saw that like Dana White, he kept the UFC going. I think boxing kept going for a while.
There was,
A little bit of basketball, and I kept thinking, like this isn't going to be good because the players, just like a magician, but you switched it up. You feed off the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, when you're playing basketball and you dunk it, you want the crowd to go, ah, and then you get the adrenaline. You know,
For
you
sure.
hit that tough shot, you get the adrenaline. Football, you know, you score a touchdown, you get the adrenaline, you look in the crowd and there's no one there.
And with football, you know,
That'd be so
a
weird.
rival crowd is going to make noise where you can't even hear the plays or focus. And without the audience or without the crowd, you know, you don't
Right.
have that 12th man, you know.
And you had the same issue, but you just found a way to work around it. But you know, I would watch a couple and I would, you know, that they would put the fake faces
Noise
in
and fake noise.
fake
Oh,
noise,
the basketball games.
and they
Yeah.
would put like the fake people on it. And I would be like,
And they'd have famous people like
Yeah.
and some random.
because, you know, especially with sports and magic, you know, you're feeding off that crowd, whether it's just me, you, and Rob, or there's 20,000 people in the stadium. I would just think it's so hard unless you find a way like that where the other person's doing it and you're really mind blowing them.
So
With that.
let me tell you, with Magic virtually, you got to mute everybody.
Hmm.
So I can't hear you applause. And the way you would applause is you show me love by waving your hands like this and going like this. And that lets me know you like the trick or whatever. And because if someone farts or sneezes, your screen cuts out and they're like, what happened? You know, what happened?
yeah,
You know,
that's fine.
so
Yeah.
yeah, the whole technical aspect of doing Magic virtually, like some guys would have 7 cameras and OBS and, you know, start working, you know, becoming these engineers and stuff. And I never really got into that. I always had 1 camera and that was it. And I never did the 2 cameras, and I got a nice microphone and that was it. But I didn't do OBS like a lot of people were doing. Like that's like a program.
Still sucks anyway.
It-
We have
yeah.
it. It still sucks. If Elon Musk ever calls you to do a show, can you please tell him, like, look, bud, you got a rocket to Mars. Can you please make us something virtual that's quality?
Does he do OBS, Elon Musk? Or
no, but I would
we
think
need him. We need
he's
him.
got the brains.
We
He's
need
got the IQ to do it.
He's
you
a
know what I mean?
strange bird, but we gotta love him.
Maybe
he's
he's
gonna
an alien.
take us to the Mars.
Maybe he's an
He's
alien.
an
Huh?
alien.
Maybe he's
Could
an
be.
alien.
I mean,
Maybe
look
they
at
send
him.
him back here.
He is.
Did a lot of shit real quick.
Holy shit,
Alien.
man! That's a whole nother story,
That's
man.
another story. Where else on the
Holy- yeah.
website so everybody can see everything you have going on?
Let's go to. Can you pop up Instagram?
Yeah, it's right next to it. Yep.
Awesome. Let's see. If I could crack the code on Instagram, it would be amazing, man. Let's see. Pasteboard. Click on that story. There's a couple cool card tricks right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's see what happens here when you click on that. Oh, this is cool. Little 4 ace production or 4 jacks out of thin air. Bam.
You probably got to turn the sound up on the
Yeah,
Mac.
got it.
It's all good. I'll tell you what happened. That's more cards. That's decks of cards from the Olympics in the 80s.
Oh,
Yeah, here, go back a second.
Yep.
Go back to, yeah, you could go out of that one. That's a,
Get out totally.
hey, yeah, that's cool.
Oh,
Little 4 jack production.
How was that?
Yeah, let's see. Let's go. Oh, I got hired by FIU. They hired me about when was this? Maybe 2 years ago.
46 weeks, it says.
Yeah. So they brought me in.
What's up, Panthers? It's your boy Magic Jack, and I'm back with another magical moment. I'm with this.
Oh, that
Oh,
was it.
That was it. What
I'm
happened?
Back with another magical.
Oh my
moment.
gosh. Oh, I think that was a post. That's actually
Yeah.
on my thing. So I got hired by FIU. They wanted to create
Panthers, it's your boy
these
Magic Jack,
magical moments during their basketball games. And so they actually played those on the Jumbotron. I made 30 different videos that they would play during the basketball games on the Jumbotron. And it was cool. It was
How cool is
yeah.
that?
I love things like that because it's not the average like show up, do some tricks and entertain an audience. It's a little different because they're like, we want 30 videos of you doing magic on the camera that we're going to show on the Jumbotron during our basketball games. And it's called Magical Moments. And we're going to have you come and film it here on the campus. And so I had to come up with 30 different things that I could do for the camera. That were legit for the camera, and because the camera don't lie, and you gotta definitely have your A game ready for camera work.
How many seconds did they want each one, or did they have a time?
Like a minute. And that's
you
quick.
don't have a lot of time to build it up or anything, right?
No, they were just like, we're back with another magical moment, just like that, and I would do something quick, and but it was cool. It was a good experience, and I definitely learn a lot when I get these different unique things that come down my way.
Go to the post, and then maybe Jack, we'll do a trick here live.
Okay, yeah, this trick right here with the jacks, that's a cool trick.
Times it's difficult to follow 52 cards. I totally get it. So this time I brought the best cards money could buy. We're going to use the 4 aces. The 4 aces: hearts, spades, diamonds, clubs. You know them, you love them. And also we're going to use the 4 jacks. All right, so check it out. 4 aces go right here, and the 4 jacks we're going to use right here. Let me introduce them to you. Actually 5, including me. So look, we have the hearts, we have the spades, there's the diamonds, and there's the clubs. All right, the 4 jacks, no doubt about it. All right, check it out. We're going to only use the leader jack, the jack of hearts. All right, watch the jack of hearts. What we're going to do is this. All right, check this out. We are going to swap out the heart for the heart. Watch. The ace of hearts goes on top of the jacks, and the jack of hearts goes on top of the aces. Don't blink, because if you blink, you may miss it. All I have to do is this, is give it a little spin like that. When you snap your fingers, that's when they do a somersault. Check it out. That's when they turn face down, just like that. When you wave them over the jacks, the aces turn into jacks, just like that.
Shit.
I know, it's crazy. Look, check it out. There's the club, there's the diamond, there's the spade, and last but not least, the heart. And over here, check it out. Over here we have, that's the leader. There's the heart right there. All right, there's the spade. There is the diamond and the club. The 4 aces change places with the 4 jacks. If it ain't magic, it ain't jack.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was magic. Thanks for watching. Peace.
And if you're listening to this, make sure you go to Spotify and watch it in video format, because that one got me.
Yeah, that was.
I was looking for sleeves to see if you had sleeves on. I was looking everywhere, man.
Thank you. To me, watching, I can't watch myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so long.
Show us another good one. That one was good.
Cool. There's a coin trick right there on top that's pinned to the left right there. 3 coins.
Check 1, 2.
3 coins. Here's 1. You squeeze it. I'll narrate. Poof. It's gone. 2 coins left. Keep your eye on the coins. There's. Oh.
Why in the fuck did you hide that?
And watch the last
I'm not
one.
asking. I'm just.
Watch the last one. Here. Oh.
Whoa. Yeah. What?
There's 1. That's cashmere. Cashmere.
Oh my god.
For those of you who are listening, he literally just made 3 disappear. And I looked hard, and not that I'm the brightest crayon in the box, but
So like seeing it on video, of course, is different, right? Am I right? Like seeing it on video is cool, is amazing. Seeing it in person's a different.
Totally different. Totally
why
different.
is it just because your eyes are? How do you?
You're part of
that?
it when you are watching it in person. You're not just scrolling, swiping. You are experiencing. You're making a decision. It depends if you're like selecting a card or if you are choosing an item, and then it's a prediction. So you're a part of it, and you are. It's like an experience that you have witnessed, and I love it. Because I could do a trick and then not see you for like 6 months, and then you're talking about that trick still. And to me, that means that my job is done, that I created an impact, and that's all I like to do is spread some magic, man.
Believe me, one of us or both of us, I'm like, this guy really made it. I don't know where they went because I look hard. You know what I mean? I look super hard.
And that is the thing with
And the looking hard is probably
videos.
what.
Very difficult. Yeah,
Yeah.
very difficult.
Now you did all these. I'm looking at scrolling through some pictures here. I mean, you're doing all different type of events. Any celebrities that you've done magic for, and any that stick out really?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm not one of those guys that I don't have a lot of celebrity interaction yet.
Yeah.
But I have bumped into some really cool celebrities, and I've done magic for them. One was you had a picture of him. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
Alonzo?
Alonzo Mourning. Super awesome dude. So tall. I thought I was tall. This
He's
guy
tall.
was like, what the heck?
Yeah, he's like 6'8".
Oh my God. Yeah. He's super tall.
And jacked.
And yeah. I mean, come on, we love him. And I'm trying to think, man, celebrities that come to my mind. There's Juanes. He is.
Oh yeah, the Spanish.
It really depends
singer.
on you know, if you listen to him or not. But he's a Grammy award-winning singer songwriter, and I was hired to entertain at his son's party. That's his son right there, and
Whatever the alien thing's called.
the Baby Yoda.
Yeah, my daughter has slippers of those.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I got a Yoda tattoo right here. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My kid's got slippers. I don't know.
Holy shit! How old is your kid?
2.
It's good to know that I have a tattoo, and your kid's got your 2-year-old has slippers of that tattoo. And that is me at the one hotel on the left. I do a show there. Right now I'm off. I'm not doing the show there right now, but usually I would do a show there every month. It's on South Beach, and this is the 10-foot pole. The 10-foot
we gotta
pole
see this one.
comes out of a bag.
Now that's stretching when you're pulling that out.
Well, yeah, it comes out of that little bag. That's the 10-foot
It's
pole.
magic, Tommy.
And yeah, you don't
Listen
need the
now.
table
Trying
behind.
to figure it out.
Well, and so you don't need the table. So if you see, it comes out of the bag. So I just set the bag on the table, but it literally comes out of that bag. And that is a 10-foot pole. That was a funny joke during COVID. Like, this is how I
Feel about COVID.
yeah, this is how. Well, yeah, this is how I measure my distance with this pole here.
That's so cool.
That's good.
That was a good one. Give us one more. I gotta see one more.
Awesome. Let's see. Let's find a cool trick here. That's the theater where I do the show this Saturday, October
Right here?
15th. Yeah, I'll be. That's just a picture of me
Where you'll be
sitting
at.
there,
Very cool.
chilling out, always early, on time. Oh, go to that egg trick, right? Oh, I just gave it away on the right. The dollar. This was an Easter effect right here.
Magic Jack, and I know you've heard of funny money before, but this right here, this is yummy money. Check it out. What you do is you fold it in half like this, and you make sure it's really straight, and watch 1, 2, 3, just like that. Now
the
you have a Kinder Egg, just in time for Easter. I wish you were here to smell it. It's the good stuff. That's right. Happy Easter, happy Passover. If it ain't magic, it ain't Jack. Peace.
Damn, he went like this and has an
Yeah,
egg.
that's, I like those ones. Like sleight of hand. I don't know what the hell how that works.
You want to do a trick and then we'll get back into everything?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
This episode is brought to you by Let's Get Checked. I want to talk to you guys out there who are working out all the time but aren't seeing any results. Your commitment isn't the issue. You're going to the gym all the time, different body parts, everything else. Before you go and buy a new supplement, try a new diet, new routine, let's talk about your testosterone. Low testosterone can affect anyone at any age. And low testosterone will take away muscle mass and you'll gain body fat. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. They're the worldwide leader at home testing kits. You order the testing kit, it's delivered right to your house, discreet packaging, next day delivery. You send it back. Once it arrives in the laboratory, your results will be available in 2 to 5 days on your secure online account. So, if you want to test your testosterone levels without leaving your home, visit trylgc.com/MSCS and use the code MSCS at checkout and get 30% off. The link is in the description at the top. This episode is brought to you by Fiji. More than just water.
This is not just rock. It's ancient volcanic rock that filters tropical rain, giving it double the electrolytes and its signature soft, smooth taste. It's not just water. It's Fiji water.
All right. So, we're going to play a drinking game?
Sure.
You want to play a drinking game?
Drinking game, do it.
Yeah?
Sure.
All right, cool. Let me get rid of this real quick. Let me put this over here. I'm going to just fix myself real quick. Is that cool?
Yep. I'm
Yeah,
not,
can
I'm
you hear
not
me?
in your way at all, right?
No,
okay.
never. All right, look, we're going to play a drinking game.
Okay.
All right? But it's not what you think.
Okay.
All right? And this is actually not a trick. It's an experiment.
Okay.
All right? I call it an experiment because experiments often fail. So if I blow it, it's not like I blew a trick. It's just an experiment, right? All right, so here, check this out. We have inside here, I have some coasters. I have a wine coaster, all right? For those of you who cannot see what I'm doing right now, we have a wine coaster. We have a beer coaster, all right? And we have a whiskey coaster, all right? In a second, I'm going to ask you to choose one of these. But I am so confident I know exactly which one you're going to choose that I'm going to wager $20. This $20 right here. So for those of you who can't see, I have $20 right here. All right. So I'm going to leave it right there. All right. And just to let people know, we've never met before, correct?
Correct.
You act like that's a good thing, dude. I happen to be a nice guy.
No,
all
I'm
right?
saying that because also the trick is
No, I'm joking.
I'll
with you.
write
I'm
down what
joking.
I think. I'll write
Okay.
down what I think.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. So, I'm going to ask you to choose one of these. It could be whiskey, it could be beer, it could be wine. You could either do two things. You could pick the drink you normally drink, or you could try to dip and dive and choose one you don't drink. All right. I'm so confident based on my psychic abilities. I'm not a psychic. I just think of what a mind reader may do and then do it. I'm going to bet this $20 right here. Okay. So on the count of three, I'm going to snap my fingers. Just name one. It could be whiskey, beer, wine. But let me tell you, nobody picks beer. Okay. I don't want to influence your choice either by saying nobody picks beer. But you know what? Just, all right. 1, 2, 3.
Beer.
I knew it. Thank you.
That's what I would have picked.
I'm
really.
so sorry, dude. You didn't win the money today, but thanks for playing. I knew you were going to pick the beer. I knew you were going to pick the beer. That's why I don't know if you could see this. I'm going to turn it over. It says on the back, I knew you would pick the beer. It says that. Here, let's show everybody. It says, I knew you would pick the beer. That's right.
Now, I didn't look down at that. I didn't look down. I mean, once I looked down, but I looked down at all three of them. That's pretty good.
But I printed that. But I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking on the back of the whiskey and the wine.
Well, this gives me a headache. This, you won't see me for a week. This is okay.
Okay. Well,
That's why I picked
knew
that one.
because that is the only one that says I knew
That
you
is,
would pick
actually.
the beer.
That's
And that is
impressive.
the only one.
That is pretty
that's good.
impressive.
That's it. Awesome. And so we didn't set that up, right?
No, we didn't.
No.
You didn't even know I was going to do this.
No, I actually thought you were going to do some spin thing on there and then use that red.
The trizonal space warper.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone picks beer.
Why is that decent?
I'm just kidding. No,
Oh.
it doesn't. That would suck though, because everyone does not pick beer. But we'll have to see it next time and see what someone picks.
Yeah. You want to
Yeah.
do Rob?
What's that?
You want to do Rob?
Well, I would never repeat a trick because the first thing is
yeah.
you never tell the trick and you never repeat a trick because first time it's entertainment, second time it's education. Not all the time, but yeah. But we could do another one. Yeah,
Sure.
we could do other magic too. This is something I quit smoking cigarettes. I know we talked about it before. I vape.
That's funny. You got killed on insurance because you're vape or whatever.
I know.
What the hell?
I don't even want to talk about it. Yeah. I spent so much time, it was hard to stop smoking. And I don't want to be jumbled up with the smokers. I quit it, but because I vape, they gave me the smoker's rate, man. Not cool, man.
This podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy.
All right, cool. Oh, you could see it?
I can see it. You can't see it.
Okay, cool. I can't see it, but you could hear me, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So I invented this. This is a way to quit smoking right here, and I invented this this doohickey right here. This is a I can't even tell you, it's top secret. Yeah, but what you do is you would take the cigarettes and you would place the cigarettes inside. This is a full pack of 20, and so you would put the cigarettes inside the box like this, just like this.
How bad do you want to light one up? You
I
already got
don't-
killed, you
I
already
don't
got
have
killed
to-
with
yeah.
insurance, so why not?
Dude, I have no urge to smoke cigarettes at all. No urge. But all you do is you say the magic words. The magic words are that's the magic words, yeah.
Okay.
And look, when you say the magic words, that's when the cigarettes vanish.
What the
What
fuck?
the fuck?
Yeah. And they totally vanish. What the?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Yeah.
good.
And that is how I quit smoking cigarettes. Not really. Actually, it was difficult. But I did it though.
All right, so that one got
Yeah.
me good. That was
That-
I was on it too. I had the camera 8 on there.
Uh-oh.
I did not see anything.
We'll have to
Yeah.
check it out, man.
Yeah, that was
and
good. I didn't see it either. Holy fuck.
Dope. Very
Yeah,
cool.
That was a whole pack of fucking cigarettes. I
Yeah.
mean,
You know, when people say that one got, that one, I hear that all the time and it throws me for a curveball
So-
sometimes. Like I'll do something I think is solid, like, and then I'll follow it up with another effect and they'll be like, that one blew me away. And in the back of my mind, I'm like thinking, what, the first one was shitty or what? Like you didn't like the first one or I never know because the first one was solid. And then you hear someone say that one got me right there. Like,
Yeah.
I never get it, man.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So if-
Rob, you didn't do anything wrong. It just, I often marinate
Well, they
in
all
what
got
people
me.
say.
They all-
Yeah.
I was gonna ask
Right.
you, like, do you ever get people that go into a show and call them the douchebags? I guess where they're like, "Oh, I know exactly what he's gonna do here, and this is how he did it." And do you ever get people? Like
I
that?
say, look, dude, there's no prizes, man. We give out a prize every other show. This is the other show. And so,
there's no prizes. This is the other show.
I love saying that for kids. Yeah.
I would start dying laughing.
you got to kind of be a little bit of that guy to answer that guy. You got to have some experience working with an audience or they're going to throw you a curveball because every once in a while at a public show, not like a paid party where I'm at an event, you might have like a heckler who may like come out the mouth and say something out of pocket and you could either ignore it or you could have a comeback line, but once you tap that aquarium, man, there's no turning back.
So like when you're doing this, like say you do this and you got that heckler there and he's up your ass. How do you maintain your focus? How do you handle that?
So I'm going to say something that I never say in kid shows. And if I get someone who's really offensive, I'll say, dude, I don't go to your job and slap the dick out of your mouth, bro. And that'll usually shut them up, man, because they'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that, or I'll, I have certain lines that I say
to hit back.
yeah. And that usually like, oh my gosh, like, because to be in that situation, it's like a comedian, like you don't want to heckle the comedian, bro, you're going to get destroyed, and so the same thing with magic, I think, you could either be a gentleman about it and, not say anything or give a look, or maybe I'll start off by saying, there's, that's cool. There's no prizes, or, that line I just said before, or just kind of move on. But I've never been in a situation. My job is to kind of connect with people and win them over. And I very rarely have hecklers.
Now, when like say you have a big crowd, you
Sure.
know, 3,000, 5,000, however many people, right? And you mess up. Give me a story when you messed up and how you handled it. And not like early on. I mean, you know, when you became Magic Jack and, you know, you're known, American Express. I mean, the list goes on. It's very impressive. When was a time when you messed up and there was nothing you could do to fix the mess up? Do you just keep it moving, or how do you handle mistakes like that?
That's a good question. Hold on one second. I feel like I had a boogie coming out of my nose.
Maybe it's magic.
Oh my gosh! Oh, it's a coin.
Is there going to be a frog?
Gonna pull out a
crap.
fucking
I'm
handkerchief.
cool with
or
frogs, not
know,
like
right?
poison spider or some shit.
So yeah, with magic, here's an inside bit with magic. So with magic, nobody knows how the trick goes. That trick I just did, both effects. I don't like to call it a trick because hookers and dogs do tricks. Not that I know. I owned a dog once, though.
Yeah, sure you do. Yeah, we all don't know.
So no, so nobody knows. The average layman doesn't
You
know.
get divorced. I didn't say it. It was you.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
my wife loves my humor.
I'm sure she does.
That was sarcastic. So nobody knows how the trick goes. So I am the director of that trick. You don't know how it goes. So if I messed up, you may not know I messed up, you know, and there's outs. There's different outs that a magician would have. Like you have to be adjusted with the outs. Like if you blow it and there still might be a way to get out. Like I've seen David Blaine on TV, like blow it. And I know he blew it, but he kind of like,
Switched real quick.
yeah,
Pushed it
wiggled
up.
his way out of it, you know, and was able to recover. But sometimes you can't recover. And so when was the time that I blew it?
When there was no recovering this one. You had to move on quick to something good.
I'll tell you, I'll be honest. I never mess up. I'm just kidding. No,
I believe.
No, I'm only
at the
human.
Super Bowl, so I wouldn't have said
Well,
full.
I'll tell you what. I had a situation about a year ago where I did this show at like a bar restaurant. I would be there every other week, and I rolled up. I usually used to perform this event with another magician, and we kind of tag team it. And you know, it was kind of a hole in the wall bar we were doing magic at, and it was kind of, we were coming out of the pandemic, and I was just happy to be back in front of live audiences. And so I was at this bar, and I rolled up, and that night a well-known magician came in with like 6 other magicians, and that's not cool. Like, you know, and not just that, it was I didn't know they were coming, and they kind of bum rushed the show, and I didn't invite them, or they didn't contact me. They just kind of showed up. And if I'm going to come to your show, I'll reach out first before I come. You know, magicians are the worst people to perform for, because the elements of surprise is not there, because they usually know how the tricks go. And to fool a magician, you would do magician foolers. There's like certain tricks, like, you know, are designed to fool magicians.
Right. Just like if you do corporate, you're going to do something with corporate. If you're going to do a magician, you're going to switch up it and do magician tricks.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Geared towards magicians.
Geared towards
so
them.
These guys rolled up, and that night it happened to be, there wasn't a lot of people at the bar, and it was the majority of the audience was magicians. And so they were just not being really good spectators, and was kind of, you know, already had me on edge a little bit, because I'm not a badass with magic. I don't enter competitions. I don't, you know, I'm not like, like here, I have pretty good self-confidence, but I mean, I'm not a show off like that. And so these guys came in, and I just figured I would do my standard show, and they were kind of busting my chops the whole time, sitting here like this, like, you know, not laughing at the usual jokes, sitting with their arms folded, kind of like just expressionless, like totally not
The
fun.
worst, right?
And it got to this point where I do this thing, and there's going to be a lemon that comes out from underneath this cup, and it's a surprise. And one of the magicians is a well-known magician, and he's an author. He writes books. He's also a well-known douchebag too. And he was kind of like, it was difficult for me, and I was off. My timing was off. And dude, this lemon fell out of my pocket and rolled on the frickin' floor and stopped right at his feet.
Right at that guy's particular feet, right? Your luck. My
Right,
luck too.
yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
same thing would happen to me. Don't worry.
Like, what the, you know? And I was like, oh, well, that never happens. And then I did this other trick, and there was a magnet, a secret magnet, and it fucking stuck to my belt. And I didn't know, and I'm holding this rope, and the magnet is stuck through my shirt to the belt. And I just made a joke of it, and they were laughing. And then it was a bad situation. And then afterwards, a guy gave me a pep talk, like a pep talk of how to, what to do in the future. Like, dude, I didn't.
Very cool.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. No, it was not very cool. He was.
I thought he was actually being cool.
He was being a douche.
Oh, he was being.
Yeah, he was being a
I'll say
douche,
so.
like saying, "I got to commit to my. You got to commit to your jokes. You got to, you weren't committing, and I was all over the place.
Well,
that
maybe
night.
he should be a professional magician and not show up with 7 guys.
This was just a year ago, man. It was like a year or two ago. I was destroyed by it, man. I was upset. I was like really upset about it. It bothered me for a week, man. Like,
But I bet it made you stronger and better.
for sure. I'm a super optimist, man. And I find the good in any bad situation. And through what I've been through and in my life and all that, I find the good in any situation. And yeah, I prevailed. I came back, and I'll never let that happen again. Holy shit. It never happens. And it never happens.
It would always be at the time when you really don't want it to happen.
Looking back at it, I'm glad it happened there,
Of course.
and not a paid gig, not at the Super Bowl, not at, my show where people are paying money, or someone who's, at someone's party. So if it was going to happen anywhere, that was cool for it to happen there. So that's how I look at it there. And, yeah, it's all good, man.
Now, being a magician, you know how like comedians, they'll write and write and write at night. So for the gig that you're doing Saturday, is that the same format for a magician? Do you write out how you're going to do it, maybe draw up how you're going to do it? How do you prepare for an event?
Good question. So for years I would do that. I would sit down the night before. People don't realize this. They think maybe that you just show up and you just pull shit out of a box and you're doing your shtick, and you make it look like that. But it's thought out, and there's a beginning, a middle, and the end. And that's how a good show would work. You got to have an opener, you got to have a strong middle, and you got to have a closer that's going to kick them in the ass, that they're going to talk about it and be like, how the hell did he do this? And have them talking. And you always want to leave them wanting more and not do too much too, which is really important. And so I used to sit down and I would have everything out, go through it, write down a list, and until that list became obsolete. And it was like, why the hell am I writing this list out? Because I write the same shit out. I'm doing the same stuff. And so my show is my show, and that's what I do. I do change it up, and I have a vast repertoire of material because of my days in the magic shop and then owning the shop and then doing my own thing. And so I have a shit ton of magic that I'm locked and loaded, ready to go. Some tricks won't work with certain audiences. Maybe they're too far. Maybe there's too many people. You need something bigger. Like if I have a super large audience, I can't do a card trick. I got to use jumbo cards, or bigger cards, or there's certain things, certain effects for different shows. And so,
Well, like comedians, like even Chappelle, he'll go to a dive bar. He'll have material. He'll go to a dive bar. Maybe 30 people are there, even to this day, and he'll go test it and see how the material, see what the reaction is. And if some parts are good, okay, we'll put that aside. I'm going to use this for the tour when I go on tour. And they'll build it up. Boom, they have their everything. They'll do their tour, they'll do their Netflix, and then they're back at the table again. Do you test it like dive bars like that. Not a dive bar, but where there's not thousands of people, where you'll test the material to see if it works, it doesn't, or is it totally different in the magic world of all that?
Yes and no. I would love to go to more dive bars and do some magic. And I have been to kava bars, bars. I've actually I used to work at a swingers club.
But that was interesting. We had swingers in there.
Dude, I told you,
was
I've
interesting.
performed in every situation imaginable,
They're-
even jail,
They're more
even
involved than any
even
couple
jail.
I've seen.
I stole a cop's watch in jail, and that's another story. We got to get into that. But
You stole a
so-
cop's watch in jail?
a CO, yeah,
You gotta tell
correction
me. Tell
officer.
me.
We got to back up to the 12 years old, back to when I was 12.
What is it with you and this 12? All right, tell me the
it's
12 years
12.
old to get it out of here.
Well, no, because once I got to once I got out of trouble, and so I was in some trouble for a while, and it's a crazy story of how I kind of opened the magic shop after I got out of trouble. And so what was the last question I was on? Your last question. I'm losing focus.
Stealing the cops.
Stealing the
CO.
cop's watch.
Yeah. Before that, I was talking about something. I was preparing for magic, like an open mic night. And yeah, the open mic night is where you would try your new material, like material you're just testing out. And but not like a comedian. I don't need to change my material as much as a comedian needs to change his material, because they have a saying: a professional magician does the same tricks for different audiences. An amateur magician does different magic tricks for the same audience.
Gotcha.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're seeing the stuff like this trick right here. I could be doing it for 5-10 years, but it's new for you. And being a magician, you have to realize that it's new for everybody who sees it. So I don't have to change my material as much, because with comedy, it has to be current, what's in the news, ripped
Yeah.
from the headlines,
Sure.
that type of stuff. And with magic, it's classic. I could do the Chinese linking ring trick, which is a bazillion years old, or I could do some new cutting edge shit, which is cool. And, they call it classics for a reason too.
Because it's been done for a long time, and then you bring it back to
Yeah.
modern times, right?
Yeah. I mean, that trick, some people would say it's a lame trick, the Chinese linking rings, but, if you see it in person and you're like, what the hell? The old school rings that link and unlink, that's
Yeah.
such a classic trick.
So tell me about 12 so I can hear about the CO that you stole his watch.
So yeah, back to the magic shop days. So I'm a little snot-nosed kid, getting into trouble, learning magic, wanting to rap and DJ. Got arrested when I was 12. I slept over a friend's house, and we snuck out like 5 a.m. I went and I started tagging, and my friend came back. I didn't come back, and his mom was like, "Where's Jack at?" And I got arrested. Literally, they took me to jail. I was 12 years old. And that was the first time I got arrested. And then so I went through a stint where I kept getting arrested, and I would get locked up. And,
Private little thing.
yeah, it was drugs. I got into I started doing coke at a real young age, started drinking, started living that lifestyle, and partying, doing magic tricks. I was a DJ. My folks owned a business, and I was just running around like a nut.
What led you into the drugs? There's always something behind it.
So I think just falling in with the wrong crowd, man. Classic. Falling in, hanging out with
People are
some
surrounding.
dirt bags, and if you hang out with dogs, you get fleas. And I started hanging out with the wrong group of kids, and I really thought they are my homies, my friends, and some of them are, and I'm in contact with some of them still. But I was just living a wild life, and I got in trouble. I would get arrested, and then I would get out, and then I would get arrested again. I would violate probation or something would happen. And so
Isn't that
16,
probation such a setup?
it's a
just
setup, dude.
setup to, you know how many guys I know that just maxed out because they're like, I am not even dealing with that probation for 3 years because I'm gonna go back.
It's set up to fail.
Set up to fail.
They used to say, come to Florida on vacation. What was it saying? Come on
Yeah.
vacation.
What was it, Rob? Yeah, I've heard it.
Leave on probation.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
back on a violation.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
come
something
to
like
Florida
that.
on vacation, leave on probation, come back for a violation.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Ding, ding. There you go.
Pennsylvania's about 3,000 times worse. Go ahead.
Where?
Pennsylvania's even.
Oh, yeah. Is that where you're from?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, once they have you once for jaywalking, you're just on the radar for
Holy
whatever.
shit.
You know, it's the small areas. It's a small town. You know, I don't know. It's boring. I don't know. There's only fentanyl people falling over left and right, but I guess.
So let's fast forward. So my mom was sick. She had cancer. That's
Sorry to
why
hear that.
I rocked the breast cancer ribbon.
Sorry to hear
She
that.
passed away in 99, and I just kind of I cut loose, man. I just was like, getting into trouble, and I would go to jail. I would come out on bail, and then I would get arrested again. And it was all dope charges. Like I would get caught with dope, and it got to a point where I violated. And they were like, you're going to have to do some time. And I was like, well, shit, man, what the hell? I can't do some time. Like, I think I was early 20s. And so I ended up having to do 9 months. And I had to go to the stockade. This was in Broward County Stockade. I don't even think it's there anymore. And up until that point, I did 3 months here, 2 months here, back and forth. And then finally it got violated and my lawyer couldn't do anything. So I'm prepared. I just met my wife. She was my girlfriend at the time and we didn't have any kids. And I was like, she's from Brazil and I totally don't deserve her. She's too good for me. And I was like, I'm going to lose this girl. And I can't believe now I'm going to go. And she visited me every Friday and she stuck it out through the whole.
Yeah, because she's not
run.
American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's not
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, I'm telling you that's why it is.
You've cracked the code.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 is 90% chance. It's because she's
stuck
not
in,
American.
man. She's stuck in. And I'm so lucky because she helped me turn my life around. And so I get locked up. What the hell am I going to do, man? I'm got to do 9 months.
Magic your ass out of there.
So let me tell you, man, my bunkie, I end up with this bunkie. His name's Dave Gerhardt. He's in for he got arrested for having a false pilot's license. And this was right around 9/11. And so they don't play with that. And he was in jail. He's waiting for Fed time. And he's like, hey, aren't you that magic guy? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you work at Annie's, right? The magic shop, right? You sold me a Svengali deck,
Yeah.
And I was like, get the fuck out of here, for real? And he's like, yeah. He was like, yeah. Dave, you do magic, right? And so we clicked up. It turns out this guy used to shop at my dad's shop, the Annie's Costumes and Magic. And he's a business planner. And so we kind of clicked up, and I taught him magic. I was able to get a deck of cards there, and I was teaching him magic, and he worked with me on getting a business plan together and to open the shop. And so, long story short, after and I was doing magic there, and I was I was doing magic to protect myself so I wouldn't get my ass beat by people. And I was like, oh yeah, pick a card. Yeah. And I would do some smoke screen. And I learned how to play chess. I got my diploma while I was there. Because up until this point, I went to 4 different high schools. I kept on getting kicked out, and I just gave up at that point. And then I took the opportunity to get my diploma, and I worked out this business plan. Dave, he left. He went to go do his time, and I still stayed in contact with him after that. And I got out, and I was rehabilitated, and I haven't been in trouble since, and ever since I got out. And so when I got out, I opened Wizard's Apprentice, the magic shop in downtown Hollywood. At this point, after my mother passed away, my dad moved his business solely online and ran an online business and closed a brick and mortar store down. So I took some of the cases that he had, some of the magic. I had some money saved up, and then I opened the shop in downtown Hollywood. And then we were there for about 9-10 years until
Wow.
really, like, I'd say 9 years. 10 years, I exaggerate. But, you know, we caught a fish this big, you know? So, yeah.
I would just
it
say
was
decade.
it was a good run.
Decade
It was
sounds
a
good.
good run. Everyone used to say, if you're in business for 5 years, man, you made it, man. And I think I took that too literal. And I had like a Honda Ridgeline on 22s. Like, I just didn't, yeah.
You had a what on 22?
Yeah, like a truck with some fancy rims. And I
remember that.
thought I was like,
Did you have a sound system too?
I did.
With the
And
shit. I did too when I was a teenager in the back.
I regret it, man.
Oh,
I regret
what's
it.
this?
Oh, look at that. That's Annie's costumes and magic.
wow. Look at you. Look
Yeah.
at you, buddy.
I found another one. Sorry, while you guys were talking, I was looking through your Instagram. I see this one, and then look at this hairdo.
Oh,
Look at that hair.
What do you
I'm-
call it?
Look
Bro.
at that. I love that. Is 90s. That's
That's
Fresh Prince.
a
white boy.
teenage dirtbag right there. I
Is that Carlton?
That's like
That's
white boy,
Carlton
white
from,
boy, white
Fresh
boy,
Prince.
Fresh Prince. Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
that was a step with a Gumby right there. And you know, you couldn't tell me anything when I was that age. They
They
were
should
like,
bring
dude,
that
you
back.
can't
I
have
like
a
that.
haircut like that. You're white. And I was like, bro, I don't believe in that,
I
man.
love
Look,
that.
I didn't even have a tape. My hair wasn't taped up in the front.
No,
We didn't
Wow,
do that.
that's
that's
good.
pretty good.
So yeah, that was me getting in. I think I had a line in my eyebrow too.
Yeah.
So I went to a high school called Dillard High School, and I was maybe it was a performing arts school, and it was a magnet program, and I was like one of 10 white dudes there. And so I learned how to fight at that school, and all good memories, man. All good memories. So I got out, I had the shop, and I got injured, and then I got hooked on pain pills.
How'd you
And
injure yourself?
so I I fell at a magic convention.
Oh boy, not good.
Not a trick. It wasn't a trick. I literally slipped on some wet something and fell and broke a piece of my bone off in my knee. And then they gave me the pain pills, and this was before fentanyl. This was before the burst of fentanyl. This was when you could get 1,000 roxycodone, you know. And so
Oh, you mean that was when Pfizer went around and said that Oxycontin wasn't addictive? No, they said that hydrocodone, whatever.
I've seen the
base
video,
is.
the commercial.
Then their patent ran out, and then they came back and they said, "Oh no, we have something now that will hit quicker and it's not addictive." And they put the cotton in with it, and then that's what turned this into a disaster.
Yep.
And they told the doctors, just give a higher dose. It's not addictive. They went to court. Got fined $10 billion, made the arthritis drug, killed another 2,000 people, got fined $15 billion, back out again.
It's
You or I
amazing
do that,
I'm
we get
still
life.
here. It's amazing that I'm here to tell the tale, because screw the jail and all that stuff and be, you know, staying out of trouble. These pills jam me up really bad. And
Ripped a hold of you, huh?
so I got on the pills. I lost the magic shop, lost my house, back my wife and I with my daughter at that time. My daughter's 19 now, and I have a son who's 13, but we were back at living at my dad's house. And
What a wife. Stuck by you through that too.
dude, she's solid, man.
She is
I love her.
solid.
I don't know where it would be without her. She's like
Good for
my she's my everything. Yeah, and I'm not just saying that because you're listening, babe. That's right.
No, sure.
So
she
no,
stuck
I'm
to
being
you through
straight
all
up,
shit.
man. Yeah, I chose her over everything, man. And so I was getting loaded up on pills, and I lost the magic shop. I even lost the drive to do magic, and I quit doing magic for a short while. And guess what? The doctors cut me off, And what do you think happened?
You went to the street.
Yeah, I couldn't get the pills, so I started doing heroin. And so I was addicted to heroin, and I wasn't doing I was doing magic, but no one's going to hire me. I couldn't get my shit together. I couldn't, do the stuff that I do now to book shows. And I started working for DirecTV, doing face-to-face sales, and being the top salesman, using magic to get customers, and to I would say, things like I would have this wallet that burst into flames, and then the cash comes out, and I say, is your cable company burning a hole in your wallet? And then that would stop them, and then I would convert sales. And then if I could guess your favorite channel, do we have a deal? And so I found myself reverting back to magic, even though I was doing face-to-face sales. And so it got to the point where I was doing heroin, and I was then I quit doing that, and I went back to magic.
How'd you get off of it?
Well, that was probably like a decade-long struggle of using heroin, sniffing it, snorting it. I really never got into shooting it, but I was smoking it, I was snorting it, and then I started getting on the methadone. Then I went to the methadone clinic, and I have to go there every morning. And
I heard that's worse to get off of than the heroin.
Dude, methadone was the hardest thing to kick ever.
Why would they give that to you?
I would look at my stuff, my decks of cards, my books, what would my wife do with this when I die? What is she going to do with all this stuff? Like, is she going to throw it out? Is she going to sell it? Like, I was literally on my deathbed, man. Like, I was so bad.
Trying to get off of it, right?
Trying to get off of it.
What'd you do to get off?
And I didn't get skinny. I gained a lot of weight. I weighed 280 pounds. I almost weighed 300 pounds.
Damn.
If I show you my license, you'll laugh, bro. I'm like a huge, like, fat boy. And so my wife was like, dude, I'm going to leave you. And that's it. I'm going to take the kids. And now by 2009, my son was born in 2009. She's like, I'm going to take the kids and I'm going to leave you. And that's it. And then I was like, well, fuck, and I got down to 2 milligrams of methadone. And for like a month, I was having withdrawal problems. And then, so I started working out, started doing push-ups, couldn't do 5 push-ups. Then I could do 10 push-ups, then 20 and 50. And then I think it's time I started running, then hitting the gym, and then just really working it out, like sweating it out, working out, and just leaving that life alone. NA and AA wasn't really for me. It's funny because I'm actually performing at the NA conference on October 28th. And it's funny how it comes full circle. And now I get called, and I'm in recovery, and I have no urge to take medicine or take pills or do heroin. And I go to the gym regularly. I work out. I'm not going to lie. Pot helped me get off of it too. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I don't drink. It's not like I'm on the wagon. I'll have a drink with you gentlemen. If I have a drink, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm on the mainline stuff right now. I just know the end factor with that is not good. And it's like life, I just walked away. That my friend who did the ash trick on the arm, he OD'd, he died. And it sucks. That was my homie, man. And not just him, 5, 6 other close friends dropping like flies. I got out right at the time when they started spiking the fentanyl.
You got real lucky, buddy.
Knock on wood, man. I got lucky. I count my blessings, man. I'm not a super religious guy, but maybe it was my mom watching over me. I just lost my sister in 2021.
Sorry to hear that.
2020. She died unexpectedly from a hernia operation.
Oh, what?
And had an aneurysm. And dude, I got that info right before I'm about to do a show.
Oh.
And
That's
like literally I'm setting my stuff up and your sister just passed away. And I'm like, I'm going to take that, put that in my pocket for
now.
later.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just go out and do my thing. And
Because
I
you know
had
that's what she would want you to do.
I did. I thought about it. And I was like, should I tell him? I didn't tell them till afterwards because I didn't want them to be like, oh man, his sister just died and he's doing the thing. And so I muscled through it and I did
Good
it.
for you.
And dude, all that shit made me real tough, man. And tough in a not a muscle way, but just
Mentally, emotionally.
man.
Yeah, what doesn't defeat you
for sure
only makes you stronger.
And to come from that shitty life of losing everything, and it was my fault. I mean, I could blame it on the economy. Oh, Amazon came in and Magic Shop, they the internet killed me. I could blame that, but it was just me. You'd live in a reckless life, and I finally got the point. My wife, I could have lost her. My kids, they mean the world to me. And that's most important, man. So that's why I wanted to go back to 12 years old.
Sure, but you said Super Bowl. And then
Yeah,
you said stolen a watch from a CO. So you
oh
can't
yeah.
kill us.
So
But while you're on that, is there a lot of drug? Like if you go on tour or you're doing a bunch of sets, is there a lot of drugs in magic?
So magicians are a strange bunch, man. They're the type to go do the show and just go back to their hotel room.
Yeah.
But I knew a lot of magicians who party who like I didn't realize this famous magician is rolling on ecstasy on Saturday nights, so yeah, magicians could be a strange bunch, definitely, especially at a magic convention. There's magic conventions where magicians get together. There's a dealer room, like we were talking about, like the baseball card, like they sell magic tricks, books, and the newest, latest and greatest tricks and stuff. And then they have lectures and shows and workshops. And yeah, that's where I fell. And I hurt my knee at that. I felt, it's so embarrassing, man. There's my wife, Priscilla. This is an old picture. Yeah. Because my son, he's like almost my height now. He grew up so much from there. But yeah, that's my wife Priscilla, my son Xavier, and my daughter Dynasty.
Very cool. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Great
man.
family.
Oh
and they
my
have
God.
Loyalty. You want to talk about loyalty? We're missing a lot of loyalty. They're for sure loyal.
Dude, she'll let me. I'm scared of her, man. She'll let me have it, man.
I think deep down, every man is scared of every woman because you never know.
You never know. You
never know.
Especially, I saw that billboard in the back there. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never fucking know.
Holy shit. Yeah, man.
All right. So, what'd you do to the cop or the CO?
So I used to do the famous watch steal. And so I was able to get a good deck of cards through the commissary. So not through commissary, really, it was my wife who brought a bicycle deck because, you want to use a good quality deck of cards when you do magic. And you
Not
don't want to use some
store ones in
like some
commissary?
Mavericks. They call them Mavericks,
Mavericks,
some paper cards. No, you want, something with a linoid finish on it, like a bicycle deck of cards. But so I was able to get a good deck of cards. She was able to talk the deputy into giving me the deck of cards. And so I would do some card magic, but it was with your type of watch, it's a little difficult because of the clasp or mine. But leather bands were really easy for me to take off. And so I was able to do this trick. And then I put his watch on while he's shuffling the cards. I put his watch on while I'm not looking. I put it on while he's not looking. I put it on. And then I have him hold his hand up to my hand. He doesn't even realize I have his watch on. And, he's sending me the vibrations about the card. And then I give him the card. And then I said something about how time flies. And how, you've heard of that, time flies. Yeah. And then watch, time has flew from your wrist to my, and he lost his shit.
That was a good line.
He freaked out. He freaked out. And so it's funny, I don't do the watch steal anymore. So I used to work at a fancy restaurant with a buddy of mine. We did magic there, and he would do the watch steal on watches like yours and more expensive watches. So he stole a Rolex, and he does this thing where he puts it in a box and says, "Oh, I have a gift for you, a parting gift." And you give it to them, they open it, it's their freaking watch, and
That's
they
awesome.
lose their shit. And so I think like 3 months later, the guy came back and his Rolex stopped working. And he blamed it on my buddy, and my buddy got hemmed up with this Rolex thing. And after watching that and seeing that, I'm gonna pass on doing that at jobs, And another thing is there's tricks with rings where you borrow a lady's ring, and it disappears and ends up somewhere. And I've heard stories about magicians doing that and a rock popping off. Because some of them you put it on like this thing called a reel, and it would pulls it, and if it snaps and hits, a rock could pop off. And
your luck, it will be a S1 diamond.
I
you know what I mean?
I'm
It'll be
just
worth
gonna,
more than
I
your
don't
house,
even know what
car,
that
your
is.
life.
I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna stick to card tricks, coin tricks, and other tricks.
I'll never
not-
get the S1 thing. I look at an S1.
What
and
is an S1 diamond?
It's the clarity. There's no like yellow. It's just
Okay,
It's
it's
pure,
the
like,
cut
perfect.
of
Perfect.
the diamond.
well, the cut doesn't matter. It's just that when you look at the diamond, there's no pieces. When you look at a diamond, like the regular diamond, you go and you drop maybe 10 grand on, 20 grand on. The diamond is the diamond, but a lot of it is pieces of diamond put together. And
Oh,
they do that.
fused together.
Yeah, fused together. You can't tell. So like an S1 and S2, they're like the killer expensive ones. That's a real full diamond. And the clarity, like under a scope that nobody can see unless you walk around with a microscope, the difference. If you take one that's 10 grand and you take one that's 300 grand, other than the size, you just look at the clarity because that's what it's S1, whatever. You and I can't tell. You literally need, unless you get a real shit.
You need one of those little monocle goggle things.
Yeah. So unless all your friends walk around with the 2x2 binoculars, nobody's going to know if it's an S1 or if it's a Z1.
And what does it matter? I mean, it matters, I guess, if you resell it or for value or for an investment, I guess.
Well, I guess if you have, like 100 million and you go buy your wife a $10,000 watch.
I would love to do that. So book me at magicjackmaxwell.com.
Yeah.
Mommy needs a new diamond.
Well, at least you'd never have to worry about being Jeff Bezos.
Oh,
You see how that worked? Just real quick off topic.
yeah.
So he had to give her a gazillion billions. So now she goes and dates did you see this, Rob? She goes and dates like this 26-year-old guy.
Oh, she's not with him anymore, right?
No, it lasted 2 months.
Yeah.
Now, how can you be around when you have 50 grand in your bank account? She's got 300 billion. How long can you go and make sure that plate's put back where it's supposed to be? Yes, hold the door and not. How long can you go for?
You're talking about the boyfriend, the new boyfriend.
Yeah, she dated some young dude, and 2 months it was done because he can't put on the act that long.
Why?
And she's got 35 billion,
I
400.
don't know. I could do longer than 2 months.
Shit,
I could
right?
go. I'm
telling you.
I'm going 1 or 2 months.
Dude, I will hold your door. I will tie your shoes. I will do whatever you need me to do. How did this guy not last? I mean, what was the problem here?
He didn't even wait till she bought him a Lamborghini.
She dipped out. He dipped out, or she fired him.
I'm not sure. Yeah, either way, they broke up, and we were making this joke like at least wait and get because she does a lot of good things. She'll donate to a lot of getting people out of jail. And
I think they both do, right?
No, she does.
Oh, she does.
He's just standing there.
Oh,
He don't have any money.
he's going to space.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, come on, buy the guy a Lamborghini or something.
Something.
He's still in that Toyota.
I'm sure he got some nice stuff.
Yeah, you got to live in.
I'll take a Bentley SUV or one of those truck deals.
One of them, right?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, Lamborghini. I don't want to lay down and drive. Like I might like a Lamborghini.
So
That's a single guy type
That's a
thing.
single guy type of thing for sure. Get you in a lot of trouble if not.
Oh yeah, especially like a green one or something.
That sticks out, yeah. And you'll probably end up back in jail
Yeah.
just because you have
my
one.
God, just because I have one.
Yeah.
The Lambo.
So when you do the difference between a stage show and an in-person show or whatever is like me and you like this
This is like close up, man.
close up,
Yeah.
and then a stage is on
Well,
stage.
there's a step before that. So there's there's close up magic right under your nose, like in the palm of your hands, and then there's like they used to call it parlor or like platform magic, where you're not so far away, like on a stage, where, I may have like 50, 60 to 100 people, that's kind of like parlor platform. Stage magic would be like, you have a few hundred people in the audience. Like for my type of show, for the magic that I do, like you got to stay in your lane. Like 500, over 500 people, you start, it, I don't do big box illusions like, box pushers, and where, you'd have a girl get in the box that turns into a tiger. Those are illusions. And that's like an illusion show. And there's guys that have like an 18-wheeler full with illusions. They just travel the state and the states and do shows. They book out theaters, and that's their hustle. They don't do private parties like I do. They go that route. And usually you got to have a lot of money to play that game.
Why?
Because
if you're gonna truck around a Mack truck full of illusion
illusions.
stuff,
The average illusion, to get a dope illusion, is maybe even a small one, 5-6 grand. If you got some money to play with and you want to drop 12 grand on an illusion, you got to have 4 or 5 of them, to have an illusion show, like a Las Vegas. Like even there's guys in Las Vegas that are doing rope tricks and stuff like me, and hilarious. There's a guy named Matt King, doesn't do any illusions, but is so funny and works out of a bag, and that's my bag.
that's your bag, and you
Yeah.
stay in your lane, right?
Yeah. I never really got into the illusions. That wasn't my thing, with long flowing hair, pushing the box, doing the blue steel look, turning the box around with the girl coming out. I did
That's
have an
just-
illusion once.
What was it?
It was an illusion that my daughter would get in when she was like 6, 7, 8, 9. And it was there may be a video on my Instagram way back, and it's an illusion. It was custom made. I actually befriended this guy named Rand Woodbury, who lives here in Florida, and he's the illusion builder to the star magicians. Like he creates them. He's an author. He makes the bases and the illusions, and he's got a machine shop, and he was on cruise ships for years, like 20 years doing his thing. And he's kind of retired from that cruise ship life, and he built me an illusion with scraps in his workshop, and it was dope. It was like this illusion that you could spin it around 360. It had these 2 walls sort of, and then it had a curtain. You would pull it up, pull it down, and then my daughter was there in a Supergirl outfit like this, and she stole the show.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Give me one tip that you used to network to get where you were. Like, so if somebody's a magician, or maybe even any job, what's something that you did network wise that really you noticed paid off?
Being ready and on at the drop of a dime, and really just being vocal. If I say, hey, what's up, Tommy? Hey, how are you? What do you do? I'm a magician. What's the next thing you're going to say?
Show me a trick.
Okay. And if I say, I'm not really ready now. And that automatically,
You're done for.
Yeah, I'm done for. Tommy is going to be like, dude, this guy, he's
I never
not a
thought about it
magician.
like that. Yeah, if you go up to somebody, and you show them a trick, you got them.
And you just make a connection. And that's what magic is about, is for me, it's making a connection with people, creating an experience that they're going to remember. So I do this effect in my show where I borrow a 100 from an audience member, and oops, it accidentally burns into flames. And before it does, they sign their name on it. A few people write on the bill, like literally they write on the bill, and then it disappears. And then at the end, it is in a kiwi that we cut open, and the kiwi has been in an audience member's possession the entire time. They've been holding it since we exchanged the money and the kiwi at the same time. And then I cut the kiwi open, the money's sticking up. They grab it out with some tweezers or their fingers, and they open it up. It's the bill. And that I used to close my show with that for a long time. I still do it in my show because if I don't, and people see, they say, well, you didn't do the Kiwi trick. So it's kind of like my thing.
I was gonna say, like, this is more comedian talk, I guess, but like that's the punchline. Right?
Yeah,
At
the
end.
money's in the bill.
Yeah.
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 And it's funny because in my show, it's like one of the first things I do, the money disappears. And then say you give me 100, then I mention it as a 50, then I call it back as a 20. And
They're
then
probably like, oh
by
my
the
God,
time
I
it's
lost
like a dollar
$100.
bill. It's like a dollar bill, you know, and I keep miscalling it. But I've had people see me like a year later and they have that bill in their wallet. And it's got their name on it and they carry it around and they're like, this is the magic bill. And I've seen someone frame it before. And when I come back, they book me again because I do a lot of rehires. Like I get booked for your party and then you bring me back on your anniversary or something. And
That's a good thing.
I pride myself on that because
Yeah.
that really lets me know that I
You're doing
did
a good job.
I did a good job.
Yeah.
And so
Pull up his Google search. You should see this shit. You got Yelp and everything too.
I
Yelp
got a
is
large
tough.
family. They're all
Yeah.
family members. Yelp, I stay away from.
I hate
but
Yelp too, but when I
hate
just
it.
saw that it looked good, I was like, wow, because Yelp is, to me, Yelp is manipulated in my opinion. But
I think
just
you
to
know
see
what's
as well-
funny is they will manipulate your reviews
Yeah.
if you do deals with them.
If you buy
and
with
yeah, and I don't like that.
That's
And then
100%.
they're like, well, if you don't do business with us, we're gonna advertise 5 other magicians on your page.
right, and bury you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which dude,
That's
it's so old school Yelp.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because just the other day, because I always ask people when they call, hey, did you see me before, or you know, was I recommended? Did you just find me? Did you pull me out of a hat? And that usually gets a laugh. And they say, no, I found you on Yelp, and I heard that just the other day, which I hate Yelp. And
it stuck out to me. If you scroll down a little bit, it stuck out to me because I hate Yelp and I know how manipulative they are. It's somewhere, but it's there, right there. Yelp, 16 reviews, 5 stars. That's a ton for Yelp. Because if you're not paying them, if you're not working with them, dealing with them,
And if you you don't have to go to the page, but if you go to the page, you'll see
yeah, go.
there's like 30 reviews that are not recommended, you know?
Because you're not paying them.
So I want to put a caveat on, I did get a bad review on Yelp. One bad review. I had an emergency last minute. I missed a show. I gave the guy his deposit back. I apologized profusely, offered to work for free. And he gave me a
Just
bad
that one.
That's
Yeah.
that one. Yeah. But you know what? I'll tell you what, I booked a show based on my review. I mean, my reply to that guy, because they said it was such a heartfelt reply and that they had mentioned it and I booked a show from it. But right now, it was so long ago. It was years ago. That sucker's buried. But I
Go back, Rob.
I did try to get it removed, and they, you know, Yelp was like, well, if you
Yeah.
if you play ball with us, we'll remove it for you. And that's so shady, man.
It's
I
just
just
how they
left
are.
it. You know what? We have to accept our flaws, man. Dude, I'm really sorry I missed that show, but it wasn't like it was
You got
Johnny's birthday
212
party.
Google reviews. That's super impressive.
I do.
Once again,
The- and
congratulations.
Thank
5
you.
stars.
And
bro.
all 5 stars too.
All 5 stars. And I will tell you, I wish everyone left a review. I do about over 300 shows a year.
It's tough.
And if everyone left a review, I'd probably have a lot more. But, you know, I reach out, like I have something that I give them at the gig, and it's like a thank you. And I usually give them a magic wand like I gave you. And it's this thing that,
Thank you again.
oh, no doubt. No doubt, man. It's the least I could do, man. This is amazing. Thank you for inviting me here.
Oh, of course.
This is awesome. And so I give him this thing, and it literally shows you how to go on Google, and it has a scanner like my QR code right there. And
Smart move.
I try to drive them that way. And then if they don't leave a review, I'll send I send a thank you note to every client after the show with some review links. But I ask 3 times, and that's it.
and then after that, enough. right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to be
You don't want to be
bothered.
but
But also, people forget though, and so I send a friendly reminder. But I only do it 3 times. If they don't leave a review, it's all good, man. But still, I've gotten people rebook me, even though they didn't leave a review. So that's good.
I think people just hate to write stuff. I know it sounds weird. It's like laziness.
Yeah, I
If
think
you
I've
just had
read,
hit
like,
5, if you just
yeah.
had 5 stars, I think
Yeah.
everybody would do it. But when they have to be like, oh, what am I gonna write? Well, he was great, but I don't feel like writing it. Like that's what I think people
Yeah.
go in their head.
You're right, because now that you're saying that, somebody asked me to do a review, and I sat there and looked at the screen for 10 minutes, typed some
Yeah.
stuff, deleted it, typed some stuff,
It's a
deleted
pain.
it.
It's kind of like,
And
you hate to say it, but it's kind of a pain in the ass.
and I was in that situation where I was like, I already told the guy I would leave a review. So, and then I thought of something that was meaningful, and I wrote it then, but I didn't at the time. I couldn't think of anything, but then I thought of something.
Like think about it.
So maybe
I think like anything like I get, like if it's just like hit 5 stars, boom, easy, done. Like one.
those
star,
are good.
bum, bum.
I got a few of those where just the rating,
Yeah.
rating, and I'm because I get that notification. I'm like, and it's funny because at the house I make a big announcement of it, and I gather all the family members up, and they're like, "Oh, you got a 5-star review again." They mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
They really, because
And they help you.
what
tremendously.
job do you work at where somebody applauds for you or says, "Hey, Tommy, you're doing a great job"? Those reviews are really encouraging for me and inspiring. And also it reminds me of where I came from, that shit douchebag life that I was living before, and it kind of is just another reiteration that I'm doing the right thing, and that,
You're on the right track.
it's the other day I was like, well, what am I going to do when I grow up? And I'm 45 now. I guess I'm doing it, and this is it.
Yeah.
And here we are. Like,
let's go to the YouTube. Play this one, Rob.
It may be a little loud.
Okay.
Please welcome the magic and comedy of Magic Jack Maxwell.
Option 4 is a hug. Is that, hey, buddy. And they on it? Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. It is your Queen of Hearts with your signature on it. Is that your initials? And that's magic, baby. And you
Very entertaining and funny.
I didn't even see what you did there. What'd you do with the card?
That trick is a folded up card that someone signed, and it was hanging in a paper clip, and then it's there in full view at all times, and we do some crazy shit with the card, and then it ends up their signed card is folded up in the paper clip.
Very cool.
Pretty cool. So yeah, if anyone is listening, I need a new demo video. They're so hard to come by, and if I could.
Actually, it was 5 cards go in the box, 6 cards go in the box, 7 cards, 8 cards, 9 cards go in the little box. Thank you so much. I snap my fingers, cast in a shadow. I said the magic words. This is a fantastic audience. And just like that, that's when I had 1. I had 2. I had 3, 4, 5 cards in the audience saying,
Go on. Go to the next one, Rob.
hey, I like the rap voice.
The next tab. Yep.
Yep,
Oh,
just
yeah.
pause it, so-
Yep.
I have to show you a little trick. And I'm sure when you heard that there was a magician coming here, you probably,
Maybe fast forward a little bit till he gets going.
right? I mean, when you think of what's going on here. Show me a sign up. Can you see the small room? And can you see the long room? Wait, I'm sorry. That's backwards, right? Sorry, yeah, that's bad. I'm sorry, I had it backwards. I'm so sorry. All right, so yeah, use a really, really small rope and also a really, really long rope, okay? What's wrong?
So it's the small and the long rope. The small rope's in my left hand. The long rope's in the right hand.
And we have the small rope over here. Can you see the small rope?
It's gonna get really cool.
Can you see the long rope?
I've seen this before.
Can you see that up there?
You think so?
Are you laughing over there? I'm just kidding your seats. All right, I'm going to bring it up here. All right, this shot will not cut away. All right, small rope, long rope. All I have to do is bring the end of the long rope up to the small rope. I bring the other end of the long rope up to the small rope, and when I pull it like that, it creates the optical illusion that they're both the same size. Love that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a 6-minute trick. It's my rope trick. I love it. It's actually a magician fooler. It's pretty cool. But you see, we're watching it now, and you hear the audience clapping. It looks like I'm doing some cool shit, but there's nothing like seeing it in person, like
Yeah.
actually being a part of it. And that's why when I watch myself on video, and also another thing with magic, if you see, you don't want to do the whole trick usually. You don't want to, you don't want to.
You want to leave people like guessing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what you pay for, and that's what you see in person is you see the whole trick. So on these videos, you want to get the audience, blown away, them clapping, and you see the interaction, and that's really what's I think most important in those videos, not the magic itself. I mean, of course, it's got to be good stuff, good magic, but that's what people pay for. And so with magic nowadays, there's so many magicians online. It's exploded. It's magic is more popular than ever. Believe it or not, there's more books. I've heard this. There's more books written on magic than any other subject. And I've heard there's so many magic books.
Do you think that came about during COVID where it blew up like that?
No, because I've heard that
Oh,
even
you've
back
heard
in
that
the
for
day.
years.
Like there's
Wow.
so, with magic, anybody could learn a trick, and tomorrow you print a business card up, you're a magician. All of a sudden you're a magician. Anybody could learn a trick, but it takes a special individual to be able to entertain and to make it amazing. So that's why some people create magic, and they are thinkers, and they are creators. But when you watch them perform, you're like, oh my God, this is so boring, man. This is like watching a doorknob turn.
Watching paint dry or something.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. But you want to watch someone who's got high energy, not too much, but also entertaining and fun. So I totally lost my train of
That's
thought.
okay. The
Yeah.
last two
I have a
questions.
short-term memory.
Nah, it's
It was
okay.
the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah,
I'm
they
so
got-
sorry. Holy cow.
Last two questions, and if you want to do another trick, you can. So
Okay.
Then when you come back,
I
we
may
have
need to
more
do a little
talk about.
pee-pee real quick.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is that well, no, let's do the questions.
My question was just, where do you see yourself 2 years from now? You've gotten this far. What's your 2-year goal, 1-year goal, or do you just go day by day? Like how does your mind work? And then the follow up to that is any magic actually. I don't want to be a dick, but is any magic actually real? Or is
Okay.
it just a trick? You're tricking the person. It's magic because you're tricking the person. But is any real, and can anybody do it, or do you have to have a brain, kind of like you were talking about earlier? You were like, just like me in high school, terrible. But if it comes to coding, I can code.
Oh wow, like zeros and ones, or are you talking
I'm
about
talking like coding.
what's the one that my son was
I'm
doing?
talking JavaScript, Linux,
okay.
like heavy coding, like behind your website.
Not
a
like
bunch-
Scratch? No.
No, like a lot of lines and letters and numbers, but yet, if your name wasn't Magic Jack and it was like, I mess up everybody's name.
101001.
Yeah, like I can't say names right.
Yeah.
But I can code for 8 hours straight. So does somebody need to have that mind, like that brain that understands magic that way? Or can anybody learn?
Okay, what was your first question?
What do you want to, what's your
In 2 years.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I wanted to be a famous magician. I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to not only be a famous magician, but I wanted to be someone who created magic for magicians and maybe lectured, performed, and taught magicians. And then I realized that doesn't pay as well as if I was just performing. And not to mention, it's not very rewarding performing for magicians because, like I said before, magicians, they, don't know how to act. They don't laugh at the normal jokes, and the misdirection factor is not there with magicians because they're looking for it. They are looking for what they know. And so then I was like, what do I want to do when I grow up? I guess I'm doing it.
No,
And so
from this point
So-
on, where do you want to be? Like today is today.
So
Where do you want to be in 2 years?
So where I want to be in 2 years,
That's it. Where do you want to be in 2 years?
I want to be traveling more
Like out of the
Um,
country, different countries? Or you want to stay within
I
the
guess,
States?
yeah, staying within the state. I just got my passport renewed, so I'm ready to rock. And I can pass a background check
There
now.
we go.
After that certain time now. And vote and everything. Wow. Holy cow. So yeah, it's a deep question. Where do I want to be in 2 years? So I am so happy with where I'm at now, with where I came from, with the struggle and trying to figure it out. Like, I'm making a living. Like, I'm not like super rich, but I'm making a living. I'm able to save some money. I'm able to take care of my kids. Things are coasting, man, and it's good. And I don't want it to ever stop, you
And,
know. But I
and
would,
like you're saying, yeah.
yeah, but I would want to be working more corporate. Corporate pays a lot more than a bar bat mitzvah and a
So more
birthday
corporate
party.
and more travel,
And
right?
I think so. And
Right.
I would love to appear at the Magic Castle. It's been a dream of mine to perform
You'll get
at the
there.
Magic Castle. I've just never submitted a video. And the thing is, you have to submit a 20-minute video uncut and a beginning, a middle, and end. So it can't be 20 minutes of your show. It has to be 20 minutes. And
You
my
got to the
shows,
Super Bowl, you'll make it.
yeah, for sure. But you know what? It's not even a high paying thing. It's just a status thing. And, sometimes I want that respect from my peers and I want to perform in front of them. But then I'm like scared because it could be brutal and performing in front of other magicians.
But it's great if you can put that in the portfolio.
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's like a feather in your cap,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I performed at the castle, Super Bowl, so I would love to travel a little bit more. And
I mean, it's
'cause,
not like you don't have enough. You have
you know,
American Express, you have, Lionsgate. I mean, you got heavy hitters.
lot, yeah.
So now, can anybody do magic? Can anybody do it, or do you have to have the brain for it?
anybody could learn a trick,
Really?
but it takes a certain individual to be able to entertain with that effect. And so you learn the trick, you're ready to go, you've practiced, you've done all the work, and then you get in front of a couple people and you're like, fuck, what am I supposed to say? And then, and then
What do they call that? You freeze up, right?
and then you totally blow that trick, and then what happens?
you want to give up.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
this ain't for me, And to become a magician, you have to go out there and put yourself out there, and you may bomb, you may blow it, and but you can't give up, and you have to persevere, and you have to fight through it. I've gone out there before and totally stunk out the house, and was like, well, shit, that didn't go well, or the time I dropped that lemon in front of that magician just only about a year ago or so. You got to muscle through that shit, man, and persevere.
So it's almost basically anybody can do it, but you have to love it. And if you love it, then the bad times you'll fight through them because you love it. Right?
And I have a passion. After all these
Passion,
years,
love
I
it.
still have a passion for it. Yeah.
Awesome. I did not.
And
Wait, what's up, Ron?
I used to do magic as a kid.
oh shit,
I remember a trick. So you still have that $20 bill?
yeah.
Can I show you the trick?
Yeah. Oh, A20? Yeah,
you have a
yeah,
20?
yeah.
I'll show you the trick quick.
I have a 20.
It's been a
Rob,
while.
you know some tricks, man.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
We're gonna make the eagle
But I'm gonna show him the magic trick that I
think I got one.
that I learned.
Oh, I got a 20. Pick a 20, any 20.
All right, so hand the 20 over. I'll show you guys this really quick.
I think I have a feeling.
I'll show you this really quick here. All right, so here comes the 20, right? Put it on my camera. You can see. All right, so everybody at home can see the $20 bill here, right? We can see it. All right, you guys can see it,
I see it.
right? You see it right there? Okay. Now watch very closely, okay? There's a $20 bill. I'm gonna make it disappear, okay?
Okay. Holy shit.
And it's gone. And just like that, it's gone. How about that?
Can you teach me
Cool.
that?
I can't bring
Can-
it back either. I cannot bring it back.
Holy crap. Hey, you don't happen to
was
have a 20 on you.
Oh wait, hold on. Ready? There it is.
It's
Look at
back.
that. Look at
Alley-oop.
Look at just like that.
Holy
I had to throw a
shit.
little humor in there. That was
Hey,
just
do you
fun.
happen to
I
have a
am not-
quarter on you?
I don't.
No?
No.
You got a quarter, bro?
I do not have a quarter.
I can look while you take. You want to go take a leak and I'll look?
Yeah, I'll take a leak. And
Okay.
I got a cool quarter trick.
That was just a little
I'm
humor
so
there.
unprepared. I brought all my other props, just not a freaking quarter.
And go to 3, Rob.
Yeah, I'm what? What's that?
Wide view.
Yeah, I'm one wide.
All right. And Magic Jack has so kindly given me this right here. I'm very thankful, man. That's awesome.
No doubt.
Thank you, man.
It's the official Magic Jack in the Box magic set. That's right. 50 of my favorite beginning tricks. That's right. This one right here. This is the ball vase. Awesome beginning trick. Even this one, cut and restored rope, really cool. It's great for a beginner. These really, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for an adult, but when I do birthday parties, if the child is like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even 11, 12, this would be appropriate. And it has 50 different tricks inside, has a book with stuff you could do with everyday objects. And I'm in the process of trying to find the time to shoot a video of me performing all the tricks and then teaching them step by step, so you don't have to read the instructions.
And can we get that on the website?
Yeah, this is on my website.
Beautiful.
And then, yeah, usually I include it in with a package. When you book me, you could get the magic set and the magic wand.
Very cool.
That's right. Yes.
Very cool.
Bam.
And we'll have the website in the description along with everything else.
That's right.
Magic Jack is going to go to the restroom and do one final trick.
I'm going to make something disappear.
You're going to make something disappear.
Yeah.
All righty. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
This episode is sponsored by Aurora. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is? For years, this crime rate has been surging and affecting millions of Americans. I'm talking about identity theft, and there's a new victim every 14 seconds. Yet despite this, those who have had their identity stolen are often shocked when it happens. That's why I'm excited to partner with Aurora, who is sponsoring this video. Aurora is identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software all into one easy-to-use app. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. Protect you and your family from America's fastest growing crime. Try Aurora for free for 2 weeks and see if you or anyone in your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial today. Go to aurora.com/MSCS. The link is in the description below. All right, we're back from the bathroom break, and Magic is going to do, we're just going to call it Magic, being that he's been at the Super Bowl. He's going to do one last trick to end on, and he will be back for more. So tell everybody what you're going to do and knock it out of the park.
That's right, man. All right, first, before I do this, I just want to thank both of you. Thank you, gentlemen. This was amazing.
Anytime.
You guys rolled out the red carpet, made me feel like the best magician in the world, superstar. So thank you very much.
Yeah,
This
awesome.
is, I've never done anything like this before.
Thank you.
fun.
It was very fun.
and-
And Super Bowl. Oh,
Yeah, and yeah, see, I'm, you know, the Super Bowl was amazing, but yeah, you guys, you made me feel like a superstar. So thank you very
Awesome.
much.
that's
Yeah,
all we
uh,
could ask for.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very cool. All right, so here we're gonna. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna do a card trick. All right. Actually, I don't want to call it a trick, you know, but yeah, we're gonna do an effect. We're gonna do an effect. All right. So I don't want you to think because I'm a magician, I don't want you to think these are trick cards. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll show you all the cards. All right. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay.
Yep.
We begin. Dude, you look super skeptical.
I'm just
all right,
watching.
I'll show you the faces. All right, I'll show you. Look, all the faces are different. All
They
right.
are.
Yeah, even jokers. All the faces are different, just like people. All the backs are the same. I wrote that myself.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I didn't write that. So, all right. So here's what I want you to do. We're
Copyright
going to do
violation.
2 cards. We're going to do two selections. All right. So here, do me a favor. When I do this, just say stop when I do that.
Stop.
Right there.
Yep.
All right, cool. Take a look at that card. All right. Don't let me see it. All right. And Rob, I want you to take a card too. All right. Here,
Okay.
take one for Rob. Take one for Rob
Okay.
too. All right. Don't let me see it. All right.
Okay.
Remember it. Don't forget it. All right.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to turn around. Let me give these a
I was gonna
couple
say,
cuts
can
real
Tommy
quick.
show who it
Yeah.
is?
Here, I won't look, but show him the card.
Put it up to your camera, Tommy. Oh, hold on. We got it. Okay, right there. We're good.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Got it. All right. Cool. Awesome. All right. Here's what I want you to do. And you know what? I'm going to move this. Is that all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to move this, and hopefully you could see the cards. Do me a favor.
See it.
Put your card back wherever you want. Here,
Oh.
let me help you out. I'm just kidding. You don't have to put it there. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a joke.
All right, well, I'll put it there.
Are you sure you want
Yeah.
it there? Positive? Do
Positive.
you want to change your mind?
Nah.
Happy with the mind you have?
Happy with mine.
You look very happy. All right, and here, put the other card anywhere. I don't want to see where it goes.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
cool. So it's lost in the center?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right. We're actually going to do a coin trick, not a card trick. I'm just going to slide them off the table, all right? And I'm going to use my my little jeweler's pad here. I sell costume jewelry on it after my show. I'm just kidding. All right, so here, let me give it a good shuffle. All right, so let's give it a good shuffle. All right, and this is how they do it in the casino, right? All right, watch. All I have to do is cast a shadow. Do you know what happens when I do that?
Some voodoo shit.
Gonna put the card up front.
That would be dope. Actually, nothing happens when you do that.
Oh.
It's just for looks. But look here, watch. I'll show you. Look, when I press the button right there, check it out. One card comes to the top. One card, the Joker. The Joker.
What about the Joker?
That's the Joker.
That is the Joker. Yeah.
Okay, but I could tell by your reaction that wasn't your card.
No.
I never said it was your card.
Never said it was
No,
my.
you never-
Yeah, Jokers are wild though. Technically, in the world of cards, they could be any
Yeah,
card.
Joker's wild. Yeah.
Okay, so here I want to do this slow because I don't want you to accuse me of doing anything fast or fast
I'm not
movements.
gonna
Is
keep
that
saying.
so? All right, so I'm gonna bring the cards. Can you see the cards if I bring them back like this?
I could see them on the table.
All right, so here, look. This is what we're gonna do. All right, here, let me put this right here so it's not so confusing. Jokers are wild. They could be any card. I'm gonna hold this up. Oh, we're right here. Look, we're right here. All right, here, I'm gonna just tear it. Have you heard of the ancient art of origami, paper folding?
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. How does this look so far?
Turn right down the middle.
Does it look like anything?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking you picked a cherry colored card. Yeah?
Maybe, maybe not.
Black cherries?
Nope.
You picked a black card.
Maybe,
Let's see.
maybe not.
What was the name of your card?
I can't tell you.
Hit me.
Tell him.
The name of the card.
Tell him
gives
what
it
card you
away.
picked. No,
Yeah,
he
it's
wants
okay.
to know. That's fine.
What did I pick? 4 hearts.
4 of hearts?
Yeah.
Was it the 4 hearts or 4 clubs?
It was a 4 and a 6. I remember.
4 and a 6.
It's imperative you remember the card. What was your card, Rob?
Was it the 6 of hearts and the 4 of clubs, I believe.
6 of hearts,
Mm-hmm.
4 clubs.
You fucking got with the joke. With
Oh,
that.
6 of hearts and the
Yeah.
4 clubs. Look at that. Matches perfectly. 6 of hearts and 4 clubs.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Wow. And you ripped it down the middle and you have
Yeah, with
that
Jokers
match.
Were Wild. Yeah, you can check that out. That's the card right there.
I'll tell you what, you
All right.
you presented that good because
Huh?
That
because
was good.
you made it seem like you messed up and you were like trying to fix it.
Well, when
That
you
was
wanted
good.
Tommy to remember the
I
card,
did,
I'm
but
like,
Tommy,
oh,
you gotta
fuck,
remember
you
the
gotta remember
card.
God
I mean,
damn it.
I was like, oh, shit, because I was so stuck on the Joker because
Yeah.
I thought he messed up. Well, you went out with a banger, man.
That was
Awesome,
good. That
man.
was good.
Thank you so much for your time,
Dude.
brother.
Awesome stuff.
I hope you come back.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll do some more stuff.
This was awesome.
And talk we'll talk Bob Lazar.
yeah, I can't wait to come back, man.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Bob.
let's let it marinate and let's see what the people say. Maybe they want me to come back. Who knows? We'll do some magic. We'll do like a whole magic thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Love
Thank you guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, man.
Awesome.
Thank you again.
All right, that's what's
I've
up,
never
man.
seen nothing
Yeah,
like that
man.
before. Holy shit.
Sweet.